The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. Two crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mark the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mark the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? Dolly back in the house, and tonight we got an update on the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case that we're going to be talking about. But first, I'm going to need you to leave your DNA on that like button just in case you go missing and we got to track you down. Also, we're like 700 people away from hitting 70,000. That's a lot of damn people. So make sure you sub up if you're watching out there. Ring the bell for notifications, and you can help us hit 70K. And remember, feel free to share my ugly face anywhere you want, long as it's not farmersonly.com. Okay? But anywhere else, you're good to go. Now, y'all may be thinking, Dolly, where have you been the last couple days? Where have you been? There's been a lot of things going on, and you ain't been online. Dolly got a severe outer ear infection. Okay? I don't know which caller gave it to me. Okay, which caller got all up in my ear and infected it. But I was at the doctor Friday, and they got me on a bunch of medicines and a bunch of different ear drops. So I am completely deaf out of this ear right now. So I'm only working on one ear tonight, and my whole side of my face is swollen and in extreme pain. So I'm going to do my best to make it through the show tonight. Okay, I didn't just want to leave y'all hanging. Usually I come up here on Sundays, so I figured I would tough it out. And long as y'all don't do too much screaming on the phone lines, or you don't have your voice don't have a STD, okay, I should be good. Okay, I should be good. So anyway, we for the last few days have been hearing from Durwood O'Grady. Come to find out, that ain't his name. His name is damn Darren. Darren! Okay, we've been hearing from Darren. And of course, Darren came out and said that he knows for a fact now, 100%, that these kids are alive and they're being hidden by the natives in Canada. Some of Malaya's family or friends, and they may not be in Canada no more. He's stating that they may not be in Canada no more. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, he's full of ish. He don't know what he's talking about. But, you hear Daniel kind of echoing these same things. And there's rumors out there right now that they have been taken back in for questioning. right? That they're questioning Daniel more and they're questioning Malaya more. And that would make sense because we know right now that the first stories they gave were bullshit. Okay. But before we get into all this, let me give my warnings. Dolly Visions for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculations, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion, completely satire, people. Everyone's innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. That means Daniel, the family, everybody, right? The caller's opinions tonight are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on Dolly. Don't get me sued. I'm broke and sick, okay? You don't want to get sued while you're sick. Okay, well, I'm hoping I don't end up with no yeast infection. I am on a bunch of different medicines for my ear and for my tooth, and I'm just falling apart, guys. I'm just completely falling apart up here. I'll be just some skeleton soon up here like this and shit. Okay. Also, the biggest one of all, and I mean this, and this is the reason why. Do not whatsoever try to be Dolly at home, okay? Unless you want your whole face hurting, okay, throbbing, face swelled up like a chipmunk, right? Both sides of my face hurt. One side where I have a tooth extracted, and then the other side I have an ear infection, right? I got terrible luck. So definitely do not try to be Dolly at home. So you listen, I like to be hopeful in these cases, right? And statistically, let's just talk statistics for a minute. Statistically, these children, trigger warning people, are most likely not alive. Okay. I know it says kids alive on the title because that's what everybody's screaming out here on the internet. But if we looking at statistics, these kids are not alive. Odds, if we're playing the odds are these kids are not alive. Kids just don't usually go missing for no reason. Mothers usually don't hide kids without a real good, valid reason to hide those kids. You know, people are making it be like she hid these kids from Daniel, but why? Daniel's not the father. Okay, he's definitely not. So are these kids really alive? Or are we being drugged down a path of hope? Listen, there's nothing wrong with some hope, right? I hope and pray that Durwood O'Grady, or whatever name he goes by, that he's telling the truth and that this information that he's getting is legit. Now, listen, I've talked to Durwood a few times, Darren, and he seems on the up and up. He seems like a good guy that really does seem concerned about these children. Okay? Now, if we come to find out later that he's just full of shit, I wouldn't be 100% surprised, but I'd be like, damn, he got me because I thought this guy is legit, right? So, I tell people out here, you got to come to your own opinion on when people say things on the internet. Is it true? Is it not true? Where do we sit in this, right? Hey, Elevated Truth. Okay. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat real fast. I think they are alive. And listen, I hope you're right. And I hope statistics are wrong in this case, because the latest thing he said is that, of course, that they may not be in Canada. They could be anywhere at this point in time. Listen, we're going on 1 month, 3 weeks of these children being missing. 6 and 4 years old. Let's just say without the help of anybody, without the help of an adult, there's no way possible that these kids are alive. Okay. But I pray to God that them statistics are wrong and these kids are out there. It would make more sense, right? Because what reason would Malaya have to hurt her kids? Or what reason would Daniel have to hurt his kids? Right? We hear from two different stories. Now, we know Daniel and Durwood, they communicate, right? They communicate. We can come to that conclusion that they can communicate with each other. But they tell two different stories. Durwood tells a story of Malaya. And listen, they can tell two different stories and both stories be true at the same time. Durwood says Malaya was reaching out to the family, wanting to get out the relationship. Okay. That could be true. Daniel says they were getting along fine. She was kissing up on him, hugging up on him, all the way up until the mom got there, and then everything changed. That could be true. Maybe Malaya never let Daniel know that she wanted out the relationship. Now, Daniel says Malaya is scared of her baby daddy. Now, this guy hasn't been around in 3 years. I don't know why she would be scared of this man. It just don't make good sense to me. And is that a reason to hide the children? But if you look at this, Malaya didn't hide Meadow. And Daniel said Malaya, Meadow was her diamond. And that if social services took Meadow, he was worried that Malaya would hurt herself. Now, so far as we know, Malaya has not hurt herself. And what's being said on the YouTube streets is Meadow has been taken from Malaya. So this woman started off with 3 kids, and right now she is at 0 babies. Okay, 0. And the best thing for this situation was to get Meadow out of that home, put somewhere safe until we can figure out, well, not we, us, but CPS and the police in Nova Scotia can figure out what the hell is going on in this case and why is there so many inconsistent statements. It's almost like Daniel wants to tell, but just won't come straight forward and say it. Okay. He said a lot of different things, but just will not come straight out and say it. It's if we listen to them, the kids are alive. If we listen to statistics, the kids are no longer with us. But I don't think anybody believes in here, and I might be wrong, but there's over 1,000 people in the room that probably half of you didn't hit the like button. All right. I bet you I'm right there. My psychic spidey senses are telling me you guys ain't hit the like button yet. So I'm going to give y'all a second to go ahead and do that before we get going. And there's some new videos emerged, right? Some new videos. And we're going to play those videos right here soon as you like the damn video. Okay. I'll do a trade with you. I'll play these videos, but you got to like the video. All right. I see number 404. Let's see if we can hit a quick 1,000 so I don't have to sell this, hit the like button like a used car salesman selling an 86 Buick with low mileage. Okay. One owner. Okay. I'm telling you to get you there. 4 ball tires. But don't worry. They're still belted. They got a lot of life left in them. Okay. So you guys hit that like button for me. And, this whole time, damn, we knew about Daniel's YouTube page, right? Which I thought was crazy. I was like, okay, he has a YouTube page. He collects, Pokemon, and he does videos on the Pokemon. So come to find out, Malaya has a YouTube page. Okay. Who would ever knew? Let me share this video with you guys. Share screen. Entire screen right here. Let me make sure you got audio. Let me add it to the studio. Bam! And there she is in the flesh. Malaya Brooks. Now, Vincent just gifted $5 membership. So if you got one of those memberships from Vincent, make sure you give him a big old virtual hug and thank him for the membership. That is super cool of you, Vincent. Thank you so much. And get on the Dolly train. It's the best train on YouTube. Okay. We call it the Blessed Express. You ain't blessed unless you rocking with the best. Okay. So make sure you buckle up though. You never know when our train gets a little bumpy sometimes. You never know who's going to call in. You never know who's going to show up in the chat room. You just never damn know around here. Okay. So she has a YouTube channel, and I watched some of her videos earlier today, and I have to say, we see Malaya emotionless, right? We see her emotionless, but she shows a lot of emotion in her videos, a lot of happy, a lot of joy, not so what we see now. And as soon as I seen her in these videos today, I had to ask myself, what changed in Malaya's life? Okay. What changed? When she was young, she seemed so happy. And some of this stuff is from like 10 years ago. Okay. Some of these videos are old. Some of them 8 years ago. But this is a young Malaya. Okay, which is just mind blowing. This is the most recent one 8 years ago. And let's jump into it. Let's watch a little bit of it together.
Ice Skedaddles. Hey guys, it's M14 here. We're back with another video. I couldn't find the tablet for a while. But Skedaddles, this is YouTube.
Hold on. Here we go.
Hi guys. So, oh sorry, the camera's a little shaky. I'm using my phone. Today is the last day of summer. And it's kind of depressing, but I'm keeping positive about it. One of my friends are going to my school now, and I'm pretty bummed. And I have some people coming over, Nate, and they're just coming over to hang. Nate, Mike, and Yola. Yeah. They're coming from Sheet Harbor, and they're gonna just come and chill with me for until whenever, I guess. So, anyways, back to the whole school thing. Oh yeah, boring. Anyways, so yeah, today's the last day of summer, and I'm spending it positively, even though summer went by pretty quick. Very quick. It was not fun. I do believe that summer should be longer, but they're saying that they want summer shorter, so yep.
I think God determines that, the seasons. Okay, I think that's what it is. I don't think people determine how long the season is. But you see her, she's a young, happy girl, full of emotion, right? This is the point. These are old videos, okay, of her. But you can see the joy and the happiness in her. And this is a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. But when we see her now, we don't really have much to judge her off of, right? But just that one interview that she did, where she was pretty cold, she didn't shed a tear, and she seemed like a beaten down woman. And that don't mean somebody physically beating her up, okay? I mean, she just seemed broken down and complete lack of emotion. I mean, almost serial killer status, right? But then when you see the young her and you see all the pictures of her and the kids, she looks so happy. And you know, like the grandmother originally said, she was always clean. The house was always clean. The kids were always well kept. And that don't seem to be the case. We see the school picture of Jack, right? And here's a prime example. Let me pull this up real fast. I just want to show you. This don't look like a kid that is well kept. All right, let me pull a school picture up. Okay, as you can see, his hair looks a little messed up. Now, that might be the style, and I could be wrong. But if you zoom in, he does have a little bruise on his face right here. What appears to be a bruise or a scrape on his face. I mean, far as his clothes look fairly clean, right? I mean, they don't look dingy or nothing. And I just don't know. I just don't know. So I think something changed in the last couple of years with Malaya, right? And I think she battles with some type of depression. This is just my thoughts, my opinion, because we hear Daniel say, don't talk about Malaya because it's not good for her mental health. And the only reason you would say something like that is, look fine, but the bruise. Yes, ma'am. I noticed that when I was making the thumbnail. I was like, this kid took a school picture with a bruise on his face. Now listen, I was a kid. I was a boy. I would get into everything. I had bruises from head to toe. You would think my parents abused me. I wasn't never abused, okay? I just was skateboarding, BMX bike riding, just climbing trees, being a boy. Okay, it's pretty dangerous, right? You get bruised up. So that's hard to say. Is it innocent bruises or is this something worse, right? It's hard to tell. But Malaya as a young woman seems so happy, so cheerful, full of like curiosity of what the world's going to bring. And to see her in them interviews is so cold and so dark. And now she's done lost all her kids. And like I said, Daniel and Durwood, they're swearing. Well, not Daniel, but Durwood is swearing that these kids are alive and that they may be on another reservation in Canada if they haven't been moved out of Canada. But he's positive at this point that they are alive. Okay, which is great news if it's true. One of the things that really, really scared me, guys, is the 2 sweaters. Okay, 607 likes and 1,200 in the chat room. Really, there's 1,335 in the chat room. So before we get into these 2 sweaters and what scares me to death about it, hit the like on that video. Hopefully this is the last time I say it, because usually after we hit 1,000 likes, I don't say it anymore. So you can save me from repeating myself 1,000 times a night by just leaving your DNA all over the like button. It's like ringing a doorbell, right? You wouldn't just walk up in somebody's house, would you? Right? The same thing. So just ring the bell, leave your DNA, sit back, have a good time with us tonight. We're going to be going over a lot of stuff in this case, taking calls, all that good stuff. One thing that really, really scared me. Okay. Now I want to believe Daniel. I want to, but it's hard. It's hard. But in the same time, you think to yourself, and I'm going to finish playing that video in just a second. You think to yourself, why would he bring these things up, right? Why would he bring up Malaya took 2 of his sweaters, and if these kids are found, he's worried that these sweaters will be there. If they're found alive, it don't matter whose sweaters are there, right? I don't care if Weezer's sweater's there at that point. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know who Weezer is, they're that band. It's If You Want to Destroy My Sweater, that band, okay? I don't care if their sweater's there. It don't matter as long as the kids are alive. The problem is this. What if them sweaters are there and the kids ain't alive? That's when it gets a scary situation, because you done said something about it. Like, is that, because some people up here, they don't believe Daniel at all. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt at this point. And they think he's been trying to get ahead of everything since this, it's not my hash pipe, Weezer. Okay. Anybody know Weezer in here? You can press 1. All right. Anyway, that he's been trying to get ahead of everything from the beginning. So he's been putting this information out there, so he can say, if the kids are found, right? Let's just say they are found, and let's pray to God nothing bad has happened. But it is. Say the worst case scenario and they're found. Then he can be like, well, I told you she took the sweaters. She planted the sweaters there when they're his sweaters. Right? Or he could be telling the truth, right? Well, this is where it gets a little like, why would he even say these things unless he was trying to, he thinks she may try to frame him, I hate to say it, for the murder of these kids. Okay, because there's no other reason to bring up those sweaters. So that, when I heard that, it kind of sent chills through my spine. And everybody's like, Dolly, why didn't you show the message? I still have all the messages, and maybe we will go through those messages here tonight. Okay. Because I saved him, screenshotted everything he said. Just in case. Well, PJ did. She went back and took everything out the stream that he said, just so I could go back through it and read it to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because, sometimes I miss things in the chat. Shit, he could be in the chat right now. I wouldn't know. Right. But that was one of the major things that stood out to me in that whole conversation, right, was about these sweaters. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I just been kind of kicking that around in my mind, because really, and 2 sweaters, and, that she took their birth certificates, their forms of identification, and she took a couple of their teddy bears. So I was just thinking it could work either way. Like, she could be running with the kids, she could be hiding the kids, but it ain't like they're going to put these kids in school with these kids on the run. Or maybe this was, oh, somebody is blowing up my phone here. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, let's see what this says. I think this has to do with the case. Okay. Okay, says this is fact. True coming from her own uncle. She took off from her mom's home. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know what the context of that was, but yeah, we know that she had took off from her mom's home, and since then, CPS has took Meadow. Now let's jump back into these videos real quick, and then we'll get more back into the case and what we think and our opinions of everything and where these kids might possibly be at in just a second.
So I'm just gonna chillax for today. I got a to-do list. It might be a little backwards for you guys, but I'll read it to you. But this is my to-do list. Yeah, it's definitely backwards. My to-do list is to clean and organize my room, wash backpack, because I'm reusing my backpack from last year, and I just decided to wash it up to give it a little brighter color. Wash clothes and then fix nails, because my nails, they got slopped, because last night I did my nails and I wasn't myself. But yeah, see those, yeah. So that's my video for today. Oh, by the way, in my last video, I had blonde hair. Now I have purple and blue hair. So I got some extensions. They're brighter than my actual hair color because trying to bleach my hair was living hell. Because I had dyed my hair black, and don't bleach your hair when you have it dyed black. Don't do it. It's not fun. You get so mad. I spent almost $300 just for my hair to turn it the color it is. And
Yes, this is when she was still in high school. So this video is from 10 years ago of Malaya. Happy young girl, worried about what she's going to do for the summer, her friends that's coming to hang out with her, and filled with emotion. Filled with emotion, right? You can see the emotion in her like all day long. Happiness, joy, curiosity. And we compare it to what we see now. We really don't have a lot to go on with Malaya. Let's be honest. We have one video from her as an adult, and she gives to the news, and she didn't shed one tear for two of her missing kids. Now, maybe you got one kid missing, no tears, right? But two kids missing, you have no tears. And we hear Daniel say there was a disconnect between her and the kids. That soon as she had Meadow, his child, she didn't pay too much more attention to Jackie boy, and to Lily, right? And we hear the grandma, right, say that she hadn't seen the kids in 19 months. That's the exact same amount of time that Meadow was. Right. So once she had Meadow, she cut off all visitations to the grandmother on the biological father's side. And before then, she had been going over there regularly with the kids, hanging out and you know, living their best life. Right. And then something changed. Something changed. And I don't know if this change had to take place during the Daniel living at the trailer and the new baby. Right. And listen, I'm not a woman. I can't speak on postpartum. But even here, when she was a young girl, it sounded like she battled with a little bit of depression, because she even mentions it. She said it's a little depressing. So it seems like even at a young age, Malaya was dealing with a little bit of depression. Now, I'm usually everybody gets a little upset. Right, everybody. I'm usually a pretty happy, cheery person. I've been a little miserable the last couple of days because I've been sick and I've been in bed. I slept for, I think, 30 hours straight. Okay, I went to sleep yesterday and I slept most of the day since yesterday afternoon around 8 o'clock, and I slept all the way up until this afternoon. I mean, I slept like and no, I say I slept almost 24 hours straight. And I guess the meds kicking in, but I was miserable, but that's different. I'm in pain. It kind of sucks, right? But I never really battled with too much depression. So I really can't speak on it. And I'm not a woman to speak on postpartum depression, right? Because I don't know how sad women get after they have children, or if, but after 3, it seems like you would have some experience in it. It seems like it wouldn't be that bad anymore. Maybe the first kid in your life is changing as a young lady. I could see, a little depression because you got to grow up. You can't hang out with your friends. You have responsibility. I could see, the best way to cure your body is rest, Dolly. Yeah, I know. And it wasn't as painful sleeping until I rolled over and my face touched the pillow. Oh my God, right? And this whole side is swelled up from the ear infection, and they got me on all kinds of medicines, right? So hopefully in a few days I'll be okay. But like I'm saying, something changed around the time that Meadow was born. And is it something going on with her? Is this a girl that has unalived her kids? Because it appears, and listen, it appears that nobody kidnapped these kids. Uncle is paying the guessing game, then attempts to hold her feet to the fire for reward. One, if you're talking about Durwood, he's not the uncle of Malaya. Okay? Or unless you're talking about somebody else. But if you're talking about Durwood, he's not the uncle. So, kids alive. That's the word on the internet streets. That these kids are alive and she's hiding the kids, and that Daniel and Malaya have been brought back in for questioning. Now, I don't know how that questioning has went, we've seen Daniel, he passed a lie detector test, but we know that the police watch the internet. They have a cyber crimes unit. He will give up the sauce. That's what Malaya's uncle said, in my opinion. Okay. Are y'all saying that Durwood is the uncle? Is that who y'all referring to as the uncle? You didn't get postpartum with your 2 kids. Now, I haven't talked to Durwood. Now, I have heard some rumors of who he is and how he is tied to the family. Okay. And it wasn't as Malaya's uncle, unless y'all are referring to another individual. But I do not believe Darren is not her uncle. He would be like a third cousin, right? According to him. But according to outside sources, and this is just rumor, I don't know because I haven't talked to him. All right. But there's people saying that his girlfriend is Logan's grandmother. Okay. Or Logan's mom. It's either a mom or a grandmother, that he's in a relationship with one of those people. Now, listen, I don't know if that's true. That's just what one of my sources came to me from Canada and said. They said, hey, Durwood is with Logan's mama or grandma.
Dolly, feel better soon. Time, rest, fluids. Postpartum is hormonally based. Often worsens with each pregnancy.
Okay, Dr. Latino, there you go. There you go. From the doc herself, she said, and I'm going to feel better. It's just a matter of time. And I'm listening to Dr. Latino, I'm listening to everything my doctor said. I'm doing everything like I'm supposed to. It was a combination of things all at once. Like, I had the tooth extraction, and then I had the bone spurs coming out my tooth from where I guess it's normal. I guess sometimes when they extract the tooth. And then I got the outer ear infection. My inner ear is not as good. Doctor told me that was good. But it is so painful. Like it is the most painful thing. Like I was hurting so bad yesterday that I literally wanted to cry. right? Like I thought I was going to start crying. I was like, I'm going to lay down, but I took some stuff for pain. I did the ear drops with the antibiotics and everything. So, it's tolerable right now, but still sucks really bad, right? Sucks really bad. So anyway, thank you so much. And that's a huge ass donation to the channel. Thank you. Big virtual hugs to you. Now you ride in first class on the Dolly train today. You pick any seat you want. Okay. But this is what I'm hearing, that he is dating one of Logan's family members. Okay. Now when next time he calls in, I will ask him, but maybe he's a cousin to Malaya and dating Logan's grandma, right? I don't know. I don't know how big damn Nova Scotia is. Maybe they all part of the mix. I don't know, right? Everybody cousins. We all cousins. Like West Virginia, everybody related. Okay. I don't know. Logan is Daniel's cousin. Okay. I hear he dates one of Logan's family members, is what people are saying to me, right? Now, I don't know how true that is because I haven't talked to him about it yet, but that's just the rumors I'm hearing. So, but the way he describes it is he's like a third cousin to Malaya, not so much uncle, okay? And he is saying that these kids are alive and they're out there. So I hope that is the case. I truly do.
It is not the color I wanted still. I wanted it to be more at this top, like lighter than that, so that it would match my extensions.
Now, like I said, don't go running with that, okay? Because the person that told me that could be wrong, right? So, you know, like I said, you'll hear a bunch of stuff on the internet. You can't believe everything. Reservations don't hide kids. Somebody on the reservation could. Maybe not the Chiefs. But you look at this instantly.
He's what we call a kissing cousin.
A kissing cousin? Oh, I hope not. I hope not. Durwood's name is Darren. I know what his name is. He told us yesterday he is cousins of Malaya's grandma. Yeah, that's what he told me too. So, but somebody said he also dates Logan's mother or grandmother. Okay. So I don't know how true that is. I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm just passing along some information that somebody shared with me. Nova Scotia is 1 out of 10 province. Not everyone is related. I'm kidding, Patty. I'm kidding. It was a joke. I know y'all ain't all related. Now everybody in Canada is going to be mad at me. I was kidding. Trust me. We got West Virginia here in the States, and everybody is kin. Okay. Now people in West Virginia be like, Dolly, I'm watching from West Virginia. All right. All right. How many people? Press 1 in the chat room if you're from West Virginia. All right. And then press 2 in the chat room if you're from Canada. We're just going to see. All right. We'll see if any of y'all are related. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Even with the ear hurting, I still got jokes, people. I still got jokes. That many people are from West Virginia? Good Lord. Okay. All right. All right. So, 5, you don't want to admit where you from. You're like, okay, I'm not going to say. I'm going to keep that close to my chest right there. There's a lot of West Virginia in here. I better stop telling West Virginia jokes. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Surprised I got any subscribers. Half my fan base from West Virginia. Y'all my cousins. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm your third cousin on your mother's brother's best friend side. Okay. Oh, okay. So anyway, the point of these videos just shows me that at some point in her life, she was a really happy woman. She had plenty of emotion, right? And then the grandma on the biological father said, she said, Malaya's always been soft-spoken. And we can see that from the video, right? She seems pretty soft-spoken. But she also said she seemed real emotionless. And I think we all seen that. I see Ontario. Good to see you guys. What does that say? Kentucky what? Kentucky can screw in a light bulb. LOL. All right. Knock off the West Virginia jokes. You might go missing, Dolly. All right, I don't want to go missing in the hills of West Virginia. I damn sure don't want. Now, listen, I've spent some time in West Virginia. I've been there, on vacation a couple times. West Virginia, I went to Snowshoe a few different times. I went out there camping a couple times. So I've been there. I went, no, I went whitewater rafting in Tennessee. It wasn't. I thought it was West Virginia, but it was Tennessee.
It's crazy if the Coos why doesn't he give the source up Dolly, emo?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Some say he said the name of the people he believes, but he started off saying he was 98% sure that the kids were handed off. Now he's made it to 100% sure that these kids have been handed off. And I pray to God the man is telling the truth, right? Because if he's not, and he's just what does it say? Patricia, I would never watch that channel in a million years. Nothing that dude says is true. Okay. That dude lies so much. That channel lies so terribly much. And he looks like a fucking corpse. I would rather beat myself in the head with a hammer than to listen to some fake ass dude. Okay. No, let me be quiet before my producer comes in. But that's a trigger word for me because I know. See, you got my producer yelling at me already. See, Patricia? So you can't trigger your YouTube host. Okay. Don't do it. Right. You get me screamed at, the whole thing. Okay. But just let me say this nicely. I don't watch channels of people that are frauds. That's a nice way to say it, right? I got to remember that. I don't watch fraud people. I like to know who I'm watching. I don't listen to a bunch of liars. It's not good. It's not good. And people like that do not belong in true crime cases with missing kids. Okay? Just don't. So, guys, what I'm going to do so I don't get triggered is I'm going to block that word in my chat. Okay? So you won't even be able to say it here anymore, right? Because we don't want to advertise that channel because it's trash, and we don't want to trigger me and me go off on people every night. Okay? So with that said, I don't watch that shit. What makes someone a fraud? When they lie about who they are, who they're married to, that they care about missing kids, and they're on the hunt for missing kids, and that makes them a fraud. When I've been there and watched this person show up for photo ops. Let me put my makeup on and take a fucking picture, right? I don't get down with that. All right. I got one mission, is to bring a voice to the voiceless, and these people out here that are not legit. Not good. Okay. And definitely, if you're going to talk about shows here, just don't even mention stuff like that. That it's not even good, because then I got to go into why not to watch it, because he's a fake fraud ass person, right? So don't do it. So back on point, Malaya had plenty of emotions, but now she's kind of dead inside, right? Kind of serial killer-ish. And a shame, they from West Virginia. You them West Virginian corpses. You got to watch West Virginia corpses. It ain't like a regular, down south corpse. Them West Virginia corpses, it's a little different. And y'all sidetracked me. I forgot where I was going with this. Okay. So anyway, have they hid these kids? Are these kids out there somewhere? Has Jack and Lily been found? Absolutely not. Okay. They have not been found.
So I have to keep my hair braided until the color fades and I put more color in it and do more bleaching, but that won't be until say 2 weeks. And I gotta get the money for it, because there goes another almost $50 of my money, because, well, I guess not 50, but around 20. Maybe I should just get the big tubs of bleach and stuff so I don't have to worry about money, even though they're more expensive. I need a job. I definitely need a job, but thank you for watching this video and my little rant about hair and rant about going back to school and just nothing really.
Taylor, you're crazy.
Things in my life. Yeah. Bye.
Detectives confront a church.
Okay, so I'm not talking about that person at all. So after today, I will make sure that that channel's name is blocked in here, so that way y'all stop triggering me. I think some people do it on purpose to see if PJ will stab me in the neck. Okay, but I've been told it's not nice to talk bad about people. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Okay, and I can't help it. The demons come out, right? The razzle dazzle. I go full tellish of business. Okay, that's just one thing I don't like. I just don't like it, right? And you ever hate, the people that play victim? I can't stand that. Oh, he picking on me. He picking on me. I hate that type of stuff, right? There's something about them type of people that just, and I know what people will say when I say those type of people. That I'm talking about people of an alternative lifestyle. No, I have no problem with that. I could care too less about that. It's in true crime when you're fake. I don't like fake people. I don't care that who he sleeps with in the bedroom. Don't bother. I don't care about that shit. I hate that he's a shitty person, right? And plays it off like he's this good guy that cares. And that shit makes me sick. It just makes me sick. So every now and then somebody says something, I got to be honest with my people. That's all I can do. You don't got to listen to me. I mean, if you like that dude, watch that dude, but just know what you're watching, right? He's no different than a T-Rev to me. Okay, he's a fraud. Look, the showing Kylie Rodney's dead body to worrying about a little kid's private parts, okay, with Sebastian Rogers, to damn faking stuff on Nancy Grace that got the whole show pulled. It's stuff like that. But people let him get away with that stuff, right? It's okay that he does that. But if T-Rev did it, he gets canceled, okay? It's selective outrage because he plays victim. He'll start crying. His makeup don't even run. That shit's like sandblasted onto his face, right? With his tumbleweed fucking hair. Okay. So we'll make sure we block all that. All them trigger words for Dolly coming up, right? Coming up. That dude's in this for a paycheck. And, he has plenty, right? Plenty. And he's out for a money grab like anybody I've ever seen in my whole entire fucking life. And probably needs it the least. Guy's more money than the people he's taking money from. Disgusting human being. Disgusting. All right. So where are these babies at? Where's the baby? That's the question we've been asking for over a month and 3 weeks. Where these babies are at. Now, I don't know if they're alive. Statistically, like I said, I don't think that's true. Durwood, I just don't know. I'm hoping, like I said, that this guy's telling the truth. And I'm going to open up the phone lines real quick. I want to hear from you beautiful people. Should we be believing Durwood? Are these kids out there somewhere? Or is just a bunch of BS to get some attention and these kids are gone? All right. Let me pull up the phone lines real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me put the number up. All right. The phone lines are now open. Call-in number is on the screen. 757-797-6694. Tell me what you think. Are these kids hidden somewhere? Does somebody have them? Malaya hide them out? Or is this just something to get us off that they hurt these kids. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Rose.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay, I guess.
With the face and the teeth and the ear.
Well, my ear hurts so bad I can't even feel my tooth anymore.
Well, who gave you that disease? It wasn't me, was it?
I don't know. Somebody infected my ear.
Oof. I hope I'll never try to do that again.
Okay. All right, get on topic, Rose. Let's get it.
The whole Daniel thing and Malaya and do you think some of these people that have been trying to be like authentic family people, like after you put that reward out, it's like the creeps be calling in, you know?
Well, the reward is bigger now. The reward from the police in Canada is $150,000. So
I saw that. I saw that. And at first when I saw that they announced that, I thought, oh, Jimmy's reward, you know? But
they don't need my reward now. They got $150,000 one. But I just did that hoping somebody else would put up a reward.
Well, that's a good thinking. But do you think that when you start putting up a reward, it's like, I mean, they put up 150,000. Does that mean the police don't have any more leads? Like they're desperate?
I mean, I don't know. You could look at it two ways: that they're trying really hard and they put up a reward, or they don't have much and they need the help of the public. I mean, I guess it depends your perspective of it.
Well, I liked the live that PJ put the other morning about. She said, "Listen, people, be respectful to the callers and to the chat people. We had Daniel on, and but just because he's saying these things doesn't suddenly mean that she's like really innocent. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know if he's innocent or not. This could be all a ploy to get people off of him or her. They could still be in this together. Everybody's a suspect until there's some answers to me, Rose. Nobody comes off the suspect table. We're just leaving every door open, not ruling anything out yet because there's no way to. I think what we can rule out is these kids ain't in the woods, and that's it.
Well, here's something else. Let's try to put this on our checklist. If you call in or chat with Dolly and you say, well, I know a little evidence of this or that. Well, why haven't you turned it over to the Popo?
Durwood said he did.
They call in with riddles like, well, I'll give you a little tiny titty bitty of the information, but let's just we don't get an answer, and it just kind of goes on and on like honey dripping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, don't give me a riddle. We're trying to solve a real problem here. If you need that much attention or something, figure it out. But this is a tragic case. 2 children missing. And then I saw something that I kind of believed the other day where someone said that Malaya those children were picked up from a car down the street, that it was planned. But I don't get that, because if I, as a woman, had a couple kids and needed to get away from this man, and as tight as her and her mother are, I would have arranged that. Look, Mom, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, get the kids. I mean, there's so many things. Like,
yeah, if they were his kids, they're not Daniel's kids, though. They're not Daniel's kids.
Know.
Why hide kids that ain't his from him?
Exactly. It just, anyway, my thoughts.
Yeah. All right, Rose. Well, you be good. Talk to you next time.
I hope your face gets better.
I hope it does too. Peace.
Gee, bye.
Yeah, my daughter called me today, and I was waking up because it was afternoon. It's probably 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. And she's like, "You're still in bed?" I was like, "Yeah, my face hurt." And she goes, "It's killing me." I was like, "Oh my God." the oldest joke in the whole entire world, right? And I wasn't kidding. My whole face was hurting. The whole side was just killing me. So now, good job, everyone. We hit. Thank you for the 1,000 likes, guys. Thank you for the 1,000 likes. And look, if you're out there, look, if you ain't subbed up to my channel, I want you to press 1 in the chat room. Okay. If you're not subbed up to my channel, I want you to press 1 in the chat room. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Because in order to chat in my chat room,
is rolling, I'm on board.
you have to be subbed up. So if you press 1, that means you just subbed up the channel. Okay. So if you're watching out there, help us hit 70,000. The bigger the channel grows, the farther our exposure for these missing people go. And that is great. And I thank you guys so much. And like I said, I would have been here with you the last couple of days, but I was a little down and out with the whole ear infection thing. And it may be just water, from swimming, and it set in my ear and I got a really bad ear infection. I'm not quite sure. But it is what it is. And I'm sure I'll be okay in a couple of days. It kind of comes and goes, but let me tell you, definitely pain. Dolly. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, my name Deputy Dai, and I am very old woman.
Very old woman.
I watch your show all the time.
Okay.
I was wanting to give my thoughts on this case.
Okay.
I was trained as remote viewer.
Remote viewer.
You usually need 3 people to remote view. I have only 2, and then my friends both die. So I found latitude of the 2 children. And
can we get that?
What happened, you go into sort of trance and you got like remote see. I did see these 2 children walk the lane, and old beat up blue truck stop and take the children. And the children know the people. So then I got afraid and came back because I thought, I cannot do alone. I had not tried to jump since friend died, but I have worried so about these 2 children. And then I've been watching your program, and I know they need help. And I do think that Dorward, he is not lying.
You don't think he's lying at all?
He's telling the truth.
Yeah, I got a good vibe. I got a good vibe from him too. I thought he's being honest, but that's just my opinion.
Especially to you. And I found him very good on Sunny's show.
A crime shame. That's funny, right?
Yes, yeah, it's a crime and shame. But what I hope I correct on this remote view, so children are safe. Now, when I do not know possible site where they go, so it's almost, I'm trying to see if I can get partner to do this again and maybe find out where children are now. But I have to find partner because I'm old and I got kind of frightened. And I hope, but I kept thinking, no, these children, something happened to them. But it's like children knew driver, and I still could be wrong. And they found children. But in my years of doing this, I saw children walk the lane and get in old blue beat up truck.
How was you trained to do this, and in what country?
Russia.
You were trained to remote view in Russia.
But but no, I have to come. I live in the States with granddaughter, and she not like me to get on the phone. She would be angry now. But also, I became friends with Joe McDougall, who was trained at Stargate. He is probably the best living remote viewer. I have not talked to him for years. And as I said, I was retrained with FBI agent. My girlfriend and I years ago, in 2000, I believe. And like I said, she too passed away. So I do not do this. I do have nephew who can do this, but I don't live nearby him. If I do go see nephew, we could try this though. I could let you know.
Yeah.
But
So why do you need 3 people to do it?
That's how we were trained.
So
but no, you can use 2. You can use, and I have friend. I have been trying to train, but it don't look good. So
okay.
You know.
So your friend's not good at it.
Well, she says she's psychic. I'm not psychic. No. But, we're old, as I say. I don't think she gets it. So I am looking for partner, but I can try again.
Okay.
I never thought of my nephew till now. Yes, maybe I could get with him and we could do this.
Okay.
But thank you, and Sonny, for the info. More than television. Nothing on television anymore. Yes. So thank you so much, young man. And you have a good evening.
You too. Take care.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, goodbye.
All right, bye. Okay. Now, people are probably thinking, what is Stargate? Stargate is something the U.S. military used, and the U.S. military did use remote viewing for a while. Okay. And apparently, according to declassified documents, that they really believed in this remote viewing, that it worked. Right now, I don't know. Listen, I watch a lot of that late night stuff on. They have this KGB. Russia has the KGB. America has the Secret Service, right? CIA. And the CIA is who ran Stargate. And there's a lot of Americans that came out and said they were in the Stargate program, right? But then, you got people like Bob Lazar that say he worked on UFOs. It is Art Bell. I love Art Bell, right? That's basically that's what it reminded me of talking to her, is a call that Art Bell would have got back in the day. Now, listen, I'm not one to really believe psychics, okay? But there have been psychics in true crime cases that have helped solve murders. Positively. Cops said we would have never knew if it wasn't for the psychic lady, right? I watched some stuff the other night on psychics that have helped solve crimes. Now, far as, it ain't something that I look too much into, and I ain't saying that, all these YouTube psychics are actually psychics, or these people that can remote view, or I do believe people have visions, premonitions, and things like that, or instinctual, maybe, or I don't know how they come up with it, but some people, either they're lucky guessers or they do have some type of ability, right? And I don't know if that's somebody pranking the channel or she's serious, but it's definitely a real thing that she speaks on, and it was used by the U.S. government in other countries to spy. Okay, it sounds insane, right? It sounds insane, but it went on for years. We got to remember we come from an era of MK Ultra, mind control, and the government was doing all these weird secret programs on different things. Some people say back engineering, UFO technology, and so did she see these kids in a truck? It's weird. At this point, I believe anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. So hopefully, let's just say the woman's telling the truth. Go get what she say, her nephew, her cousin, somebody. Go get with somebody, and see if you can figure out the location of these kids. I'm still offering my 5K reward. If you tell me the coordinates of where the child is at, then I would definitely check it out. It never hurts. I've been out searching for many kids, and different people have, hit me up while I'm out searching, be like, well, Dolly, this psychic said this psychic said that. And, I don't pay it much attention, but if they tell me to look somewhere, I'll always go look. Because what does it hurt? I'm looking anywhere. We don't know where the kid is at. So what does it hurt to look where they said? Now, I've searched a few places that people say, and there's one really big psychic up here on YouTube, and that's that Donna lady. And I know I'm gonna catch some hell about this. Everybody loves Donna. She helped solve Lori Vallow. I've never found anywhere that they say a psychic helped in the Lori Vallow case. Okay, show it to me. Show it to me in writing from a anything credible that this woman had anything to do with the Lori Vallow case. Anybody? Okay. Now I've searched places and didn't find anything that she said. Okay. She said that, Quentin Simon was hid off the railroad tracks and blah, 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 blah. And come to find out Quentin Simon was in the landfill. Okay. So here's the thing. Let's just say I sit up here and I guess on 100 true crime cases. Some of them I'm going to get right. Okay. Just like I got the Idaho 4 right. I knew that it wasn't the college kids that did it. I knew it was somebody else, an outsider outside of that house. And I was absolutely right. So if I guessed 100 true crime cases, I'm going to get some of those right. Now, I still do believe there's people that have God gives premonitions. I believe this is something from God when you have a vision. I don't believe people can tap into it just like that. I just don't buy that shit. Okay. But I believe God shows certain people certain things for certain reasons at certain times. It ain't like something you turn on the TV and you flip the damn whatever true crime station you want, and now all of a sudden you're tapped into this person. I don't think of psychic abilities like that. And that was a crazy call, right? That was a good. Told you, buckle up your seatbelts. You never know what you're gonna get on Dolly Vision. All right, the phone line is still open. Do we got any other psychics, remote viewers, skeptics, and damn lizard people? I don't know. Anybody in the Anunnaki want to call in at this point? You know what I'm saying? The Nephilim? It could be anything, right? I just know this. Aliens didn't kidnap these kids because they have a treaty. They can't kidnap kids, right? Bigfoot didn't do it. El Chupacabra, coast to coast with Dolly, right? El Chupacabra didn't do it. Bigfoot didn't do it. Mothman, we can't leave out Mothman because he gets blamed for a lot of shit, okay? Mothman didn't do it, right? It's down. We narrowed it down. I had a vision, a Dolly vision. There you go. That's a good vision. This is the psychic. That's why I call it Dolly vision, right? This is my vision of what's going on in the world here, okay? We've narrowed it down to whoever was in that house. I want winning lotto numbers, okay? So when you win, let me get a cut, okay? Let me get a cut. That's for sure. If I knew the winning lotto numbers, that's the one thing you never believe. It's a broke psychic. Now, if you get out of a Bentley and you got a $20,000 diamond chain on and you live in a mansion and you got a house in Bahamas and say I might believe you. But a broke psychic? Nah. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
I got a question.
I got to answer, but first you got to tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Okay, I'm Cindy, and I'm calling from Ohio.
Hey, Cindy.
Okay, so, I don't know where, my dogs, I'm sorry. I don't know where I heard it from, but it was either Durwood or Daniel.
Okay.
wanted them to put it out there that CPS was involved before Malaya's kids went missing.
I heard that
All
too.
right? Okay, so do you think, because with CPS wants kids to go with family, okay?
Uh-huh.
And he was under supervision with the baby. So you don't think that they were going to take the little girl and the little boy and give it to their dad or his family? Could that be why she hid them?
I mean, I don't know.
They don't.
Because, with CPS, there's no way to find out if they were involved or not because they won't release any information on minors. So there's no way to really tell. And like I said, the internet, you don't know what to believe and what not to believe because there's so much.
I know.
It's a madhouse, to be honest.
Oh, I know. I hope and pray these babies are okay.
Yeah, some people tell the truth, and then some people get up here and just need attention, and they just say the craziest thing they can think of. And it's weird because Durwood is close to the family. We do know that, right? And he's saying he's making some crazy allegations, and we really ain't seen any proof to back any of that up yet. Just his word, and I'm not saying he's lying. I don't know. I don't know. He seems like a genuine guy, but maybe he's a guy that needs some attention, and he's found a way to get that attention on the internet, or he's telling the truth, and these kids are alive. So it's like, I hate to say the man's lying, right, and not know.
Great. Well, let's hope and pray that he's not lying, and that they're okay, because that would be a sin if she actually did something. They're both beautiful little kids.
Well, I think at this point, if he's not lying and these children are found, they owe him the reward.
Well, I think she's going to be completely screwed if she really did hide them, because she'll probably never get them back. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if she unalived them, I have to think about the words to use, sorry.
Yeah.
If she unalived them, then she's going to go to prison for the rest of her life. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, she won't be the first mother. I mean, we deal with mothers all the time that are murdering their kids. I mean, it's more likely that she did than she didn't. That's the scary thing.
The sad part is, so Dolly, you know what, though? And we're both, you're a little bit younger than me, not by much, by a year. And if someone walked up to us and handed us those two kids, we'd take them. We wouldn't even freaking think about it.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So it's like, why would you do that?
Why would you hurt the kid? I don't know. There's so many people out here that want kids, that want families, that can't have kids, or would just take them in so they wouldn't get hurt to do something horrible to. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
That's why we build prisons, though. That's exactly why we build prisons. And the bad thing is Canada don't got the death penalty. They don't execute people in Canada.
Oh, well, let's hope and pray the kids are found soon. I won't take up any more of your time so other people can call in.
All right. You be good.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I think that damn clown from the It movie is about to jump out from behind her. Did y'all hear that music playing in the background? That shit was creepy. I'm thinking, okay, where's Pennywise about to jump out and grab her ass, right? That lady's probably going to come up missing, right? We done had a damn remote viewer. We done had the killer clowns call. It's getting crazy right now. Did cadaver dogs sniff the area? Now, I'm assuming they did. Now, people, I've seen somebody clip a video, still no cadaver dogs. But I believe that, I don't think the Canadian police are stupid. I don't think the police are stupid at all. I think if we're smart enough to think of it, the police are smart enough to think of it. But they were a little late. I do say this, that the RCMP dropped the ball a lot in this. And if it wasn't for the internet, you wouldn't know none of this stuff that you know now. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
This is Jack. This is Jacqueline from Arkansas.
Uh-huh. Say it one more time. Your name.
I
only got one ear, so could you say your name one more time?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Okay. Hey, Jacqueline.
Hi. I want to know, are you on antibiotics? For your tooth extraction in your ear?
Yes. They got me on meds for my ear and my tooth.
Great. You know, I've had a gut feeling since about day 5 of these babies being gone that Maria took them to the reservation. I don't know why, just gut feeling.
Yeah, Mab has been saying that in our chat room the whole time, that he believes that they're on the reservation somewhere. That's why they gave the kids residency or considered them native, and then they gave her a lawyer right after she went home, and because he believes they're on the res somewhere and they're hiding these kids because they're part native.
Right. Well, honestly, I pray to God that's where they are. It's better than being unalived.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. I said the same thing.
Right.
I'd much rather her hide the kids and they come find out that she did it than these kids not be with us, because they're two beautiful kids. And like, why hurt these kids? Somebody would have took these kids so fast and gave them a good home and a good life. To hurt any kid out there it's insane.
Wow.
It's insane. And we see it all the time, parents hurting their kids.
Yep. I'll never forget Leilani.
Oh, yeah, that'll live with me forever. You know, I watched a documentary last night on Leilani. I don't know why I was there. I don't know why I'd be watching a documentary on it.
I didn't know they had one.
Well, yeah, it had over 1 million views on it, and I was watching it to see if I was in it.
Wow.
I was like, let me watch it. Let me see if I'm in it. And I didn't see me in it. I was kind of surprised. I was like, I ain't in it, right?
They missed it. They missed her calling when Quentin walked behind you.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised even when they were showing the protests. I must have been, I tried to stay away from the cameras when I was out there, because many news people try to interview me, and I was like, no, I don't want to be on camera. I want to be on camera. But I'm on camera always, but my camera. I don't like talking to the news. I always avoid them. So when I see TV cameras and news cameras, I try to avoid that. Betty will hop right in front of a camera. She's like, every camera she sees, she's getting on it, right? She ain't.
I can't watch her.
Yeah, I'm just saying, she won't let a camera walk by her without jumping in front of it. Me, I'm the exact opposite of that. I'm like, and you would think I would, I would want to be on camera. I do want to be on camera. My camera where I feel comfortable. Them cameras make me nervous.
Exactly.
I don't feel nervous behind my camera. I feel nervous behind their cameras.
I never believed in premonitions and all that stuff. But when Quentin walked behind you, that did it for me. I'm a firm believer now.
I mean, it made me believe too. I mean, I know some people still to this day don't buy it, but that is the weirdest shit I've seen in my life. I mean,
I know. I watched it all.
Yeah. And
but anyway,
that'll be a case that I carry to the grave with me. Some of this stuff in true crime sticks with you forever.
Yeah. See, my daughter is a lieutenant on the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. And she carries a lot with her too.
Yeah.
She spends a lot of time calling her mommy.
I can believe it. I can believe it. And I try to tell people that coming into true crime that some of these cases leave little scars on you, and you're gonna carry them scars for the rest of your life. Like there won't. You can hit me up when I'm 80, and you could say something about little Leilani, and I'll still remember it, because it's just something it's something I'll never forget. And I know that's just the beginning. I'm sure I'll deal with a lot more Leilanis before this is said and done. We might be dealing with one now.
Well, we thank you for doing what you're doing, Dolly.
Well, you're very much welcome, and I appreciate you calling in.
All right. You have a good night, and I'm praying about your ear and your tooth.
Thank you. Well, my tooth's good. Well, it might not be, but the pain in my face is so bad I can't even feel my tooth.
Well, I'm a retired nurse, and sometimes it will shoot that pain right over to that ear.
Well, the bad thing about my ear hurting is making my jaw hurt. Like, I guess because the ear canal down by my jaw, every time I eat something, it's like making my jaw. So that's
right.
But I'll be okay. I'll survive.
Yeah. God's going to keep you around a while, dude. You survived a heart attack.
I hope so. Let's don't jinx it. All right. Peace.
No, I'm not. All right.
Knock on wood. All right.
I did.
Yeah, let's don't jinx that. Let's just hope and pray, right? Yeah, I still got things to complete, right? I don't want to go anywhere before we find these kids. All right. That's Summer Wells, that's damn Sebastian Rogers, that's Monkey Vaughn. I want answers for all this before I can check out. Okay. What have I missed? Okay, just to recap everything. New videos from Malaya Brooks's YouTube has emerged. Okay. Durwood says he's 100% sure that the kids are alive. All right. There's rumors that Daniel and Malaya have been brought back in for questioning. Now, that with their inconsistent statements and what's been going on in the internet, that they would bring them back into question. Okay. Because why wouldn't you? Daniel's out here saying that the 10 o'clock timeline ain't real. And if that ain't real, and you lie about one thing, what else are you lying about? Right? And I believe Daniel's reason for lying is he's trying to cover for Malaya. I mean, or he 100% don't know. Or it's the opposite of that. And they both know, and they're both are in on this together. And this has all been planned. We just kind of got to let it play out to see what is actually happening. Okay. It's like we have all these people saying they're alive, but then statistically, the odds of these children being alive are like, you got a better chance of getting bit by a shark while you're making a Slurpee at the 7-Eleven. Okay. I mean, that's the odds. Like you getting struck by lightning inside your house. You got better odds of something like that happening than these kids being with us after this amount of time. Unless they've been kidnapped. Okay. And here's the thing about kidnappings and abductions. Usually when somebody kidnaps you, they know you. It's very rare. I mean, I ain't saying it don't happen that strangers kidnap you. But usually if somebody unalives you or kidnaps you, it's somebody you're familiar with or that's familiar with you. Mom holds the key to all of this, in your opinion. I think both of them do. Right? I think both of them hold the key. I think Daniel knows more than he's telling because he really don't want Malaya to go to prison forever. That's truly what I believe. I believe he's a man who loves his wife. And listen, a lot of people say they wouldn't lie for somebody or do something like that. And you might be right, a few of you, but the rest of you, you would take up for your significant other, right? Even if you thought something, you would want to believe they were innocent. You wouldn't want to think the worst, right? And I mean, I could say I wouldn't cover for somebody I love all day long until it came to the time, and I was like, man, I don't want to lose this person out of my life because they did something stupid. And then you cover for them. And I believe that that's where we're at. And he's conflicted. I believe Daniel's conflicted. He wants to tell, but he knows if he does, he's losing Malaya forever. And if it ain't that, then they both know because they were both in that house and them kids went missing. So it's one of the two, right? It's got to be one of the two. We know good as they searched them woods with all them people, dogs and all that. And, they hadn't been gone long when the police started searching. So they would have had a scent and them dogs would have picked up the scent of them kids. And them kids were nowhere to be found. And if Daniel and them story, I think them kids were gone a lot longer than they're actually saying. I just don't think they didn't call the police at 10 o'clock. But I think they knew those kids were gone around 8 o'clock. And then they didn't report it till 10 o'clock. So there's that couple hour window. And then we even heard Daniel say, Malaya said, should I call the police? Should you call the police? No, you should just let your kids vanish. What kind of question is that? Should I call the police? Of course you should call the damn police. Who else are you going to call but the police? You would never cover for your loved ones? Well, people are different. People are different. You know, you say that until you're put in a situation where you had to cover for somebody, you know? And I would have a hard time doing that. I wouldn't want to be put in a situation like that, to be honest. I would hope my significant other wouldn't unalive anybody or get rid of the kids or anything like that, you know? But I do believe that Malaya's dealt with some type of mental health problems before, even going back to when she was a teenager, like in these videos where she talks about, you know, school ending for the summer, kind of depressing because her friends are gone. That she may have some type of depression that she's been battling with since she's a young girl. Crimes have consequences. Yes, they can. Not all reserves don't have police force. RCMP are not restricted like the FBI. Okay. So let's just say, you know, some of these reserves at these reservations, that these places are big and they don't have the best law enforcement. Can these kids be hid? Absolutely. They could be hid. Do people want us to think they've been hid? Here's the thing. Nobody has reported a sighting of these kids. Not legit that we know of. Okay. $150,000 on one of these reservations is like $1 million. I don't know if you see how the natives are living, but they don't live great. These reservations all through, at least America, they're strung out on drugs. There's all kinds of poverty levels really, really high. And if you don't work for the res, you probably don't got a job. Right? So there's a lot of poor people on these reservations. So you would think at $150,000 reward, some native would be like running up with some feathers, talking about, hell yeah, I know where the kids are at. Let me get that $150K. But we don't see that happening. Now, that's a huge reward, because you look at the reward for Sebastian Rogers was only $50K. And you know, here's the key word to that. Up to. That's how they get you. Right? Up to $150,000. Up to $50,000. So that means you could give me $5. Be like, here's $5 after you tell. Right? The whole up to 50,000. That means what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't guarantee me a certain amount of money. When you say, oh, we're offering a reward up to $150,000. So if I turn them in and you give me $20, you can be like, well, that's up to $150,000. You know, why hide the kids makes no sense. I've been trying to figure out the same thing. I've been trying to figure out the exact same thing. Why this woman would hide her kids.
Hi guys, I am here doing another video of my experience at the exhibition. Yay! Okay, so I just got back from digging in my garden and I cleaned it up a little. Yeah, you don't really need to know that. Anyway, so the experience at the exhibition, well, let's just say I went on to the zipper for the first time. That's me. I'm not much of a person to go on crazy rides like that, but I did. And it was amazing, but freaking scary at the same time. I was like screaming my head off and hiding my face like a hedgehog. To be honest, I know how Angelique, my best friend's hedgehog feels.
She knows how a hedgehog feels.
Oh my lord. Just, all I'm saying for right now is like, I will probably go on again tomorrow, because I'm going on to the exhibition again tomorrow, hopefully, if I get the money. I just did the garden, so hopefully I'll get some money for doing that, because it was choked up and yeah. Anyway, so hopefully this time it won't be as scary, but doing flips and stuff, and you're upside down, and you're yeah, it's scary.
Dolly. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I got through.
You did it. You did it.
This is Lori from Central Virginia.
Hey, Lori.
Hi. This is something it's just been on my heart since almost the beginning of this case because I see a lot of similarities of me with my last relationship.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I know that they keep denying that they didn't use drugs or whatever, but that's kind of how I ended up with the person I was with. And even though it was a different drug than what they were on, to me, I feel like that he was just like maybe feeding it to her, and she was just staying under his influence. And if it was meth that they were using, I've heard a lot of people get real violent when they do that.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I felt like there was some TV going on in there because anytime anybody gets in a situation like that, I mean, their partner can basically just put a gun to their head and tell you, if you ever leave me, I'll,
Yeah, make a threat story. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know where I heard it from, but it was about the kids and how they ended up getting under suspicion of the CPS or whatever they call it up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just something in my heart just keeps telling me that he was doing some things to these kids, because like he was saying she couldn't control them or whatever. But I think I felt like it was escalating to SA maybe. And she felt like she just had to get them kids out of there. But I know when you're in like that type of relationship.
Let me ask you this: even if there was, she thought there was some SA or something going on, why now that she's surrounded by police, and why did she go out, lawyer up, and stop talking? Like I could getting your kids out of a bad, even a DV relationship, but even I can understand that. But once you're away, why wouldn't you be talking, or why wouldn't you tell the police, hey, the kids are okay, I hit them? Why lie to the police? That's where I don't see it. I ain't saying she ain't lying to the police and she really has hit these kids, but why do that unless you have some mental health problems?
Well, that could be the thing too. And I mean, that relationship I was in was very abusive, and I mean they can like brainwash you basically and have you
think
so
Karen Reed's innocent?
Huh?
Has that brainwash you so bad that you think Karen Reed is innocent?
we didn't go on Karen Reed today.
I'm just saying that's the last brainwashing I can think of. It must be some good brainwashing, right? Okay.
Honestly, I didn't even really get into that story, but just because this was, children, I just kind of got onto it, and because it seems like I heard somebody, I'm not sure who it was, but it was on YouTube, said that somewhere they had found some BLOBY little.
They found what? I can't spell. Oh, bloody underwear?
PAN, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, they said it on YouTube. It has to be true.
Oh well, you know how that goes. but no. I mean, I'm not no psychic, but I am a Christian, and I do my this discernment that I get from God. I mean, it's like he'll tell me, he'll just keep being real persistent about, something if I need to say something about a certain thing or do something about a certain thing. And it's like he just ain't letting up off with me. So I just said, I was too nervous to call, but I said, all right, I'm just going to do it because you just won't let up on it. And I mean, that's what I feel like, because like I've been through all that. I mean, I went through that even as a child, the SA.
Yeah, that's terrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's just people, these monsters that do this stuff to people, they don't realize how long it hurts them, how long it affects them. And
oh, for sure. I mean, it took me till I was, well, I'm 55 now, but it wasn't very long ago. Like, I was, I was like, I had to forgive my dad and look at him, like he's a sick man, and I don't know what his history was of what's happened to him. And it's like this stuff just carries down through generations.
Yeah.
Of this type of stuff. I mean, it's like we don't know what they went through as children.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the parents. I'm not talking about the kids.
To me, it still don't excuse it, but you're right, because usually people that do abuse were abused, and not everybody, but a lot of it. So, still no excuse to hurt a child or destroy somebody's life. That when you got to be the one to break the cycle and get help.
That's you absolutely right. Being a chain breaker.
If you got some things going on in your mind, so many people are scared to reach out to a psychiatrist. But mental health is just as important as your health of your heart. If you was having heart problems, you'd be right at the heart doctor. But people have mental health problems all the time, and they never go to a shrink or a head doctor.
Yeah. Because the stigma behind it,
Yeah, and we got to stop that, because everybody goes through some type of depression, some mental stress sometime in their life.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and
nobody has a perfect life. Some people act like they do, but nobody has.
Don't.
Yeah, nobody has a perfect life.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But I don't know, it just wouldn't let up off of me, and I was like, I will just try and see if I get through, but that's just what has been on my heart this whole time. I felt like she, got in touch with somebody and let them know what was going on. Because I mean, if she's doing drugs and he's doing drugs, and she's got this under the influence of this stuff, and they say it makes you so paranoid. So maybe she couldn't even think right, because she was so paranoid under the influence of
and now she's in over her head and don't know how to get out. I pray you're right. I honestly do. I pray, little baby Jesus, you right as can be. It just scares me sometimes, because the longer it goes with no answers, statistically, how it ends, but let's pray you're right. And I appreciate you calling.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You be good. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, listen, there's some horrible people out here who do horrible things, but just because something happens to you, don't mean you got to do that to somebody else. You got to be the person that breaks that chain and don't continue to victimize people. I don't think some of these people realize, or they do and don't care, that they're destroying lives and hurting people for scars that they can't never get rid of. And it's horrible, because I've had so many people call in and share their stories of being SA'd as a child. And when we hear about these cases like Maddie Soto and stuff like that, it literally has people calling in crying, because it brings back memories of their childhood and things like that. It sticks with people that long, and the penalties for these things need to be stiffer, on crimes against your own children. I think that's the worst, because it's one thing to be a stranger and hurt a kid, which ain't right either, right? That ain't even, but when you're the parent, I think it's worse, because it's your job to protect these kids, right? This child is your responsibility. I think we still need to punish strangers, don't get me wrong, like to the fullest extent of the law, but even worse on the family that's supposed to protect these kids. And mothers, we got to stop being so easy on mothers that throw their babies in the trash can. Okay, even Leilani, she got 40 years with the possibility of parole. To me, that's too lenient. Because you know what Quentin Simon got? He got a trash can. He gets nothing for the rest of his life. It's over, right? I said the rest of his life, but he don't even have a life.
Dolly train. Seats are limited. Please reserve.
Please
Dolly
reserve.
Gotta eat.
Dolly definitely got to eat, okay? I ate soup yesterday. I ate a bunch of soup and crackers, and I had to let the crackers get soft because my face hurt so bad. It literally hurts when I chew, okay? So, I can't remember ever having an ear infection before. I may have when I was a kid, but I was in so much pain yesterday that just I was waiting for tears to roll down my face. I could feel my eyes watering, and I was just like, oh, every time I moved, it hurt to breathe. Okay. You know, now I'm a little medicated with the eardrops and the medicines they gave me. And, but as soon as they wear off a little bit, oh, the pain comes right back. I mean, like, it almost feels like, this is no lie, guys. This is pretty brutal. It feels like somebody took a sharp ass pencil and is stabbing me in the side of my eardrum. Okay. But the doctor told me my eardrum is good. It's not an inner ear infection. It's an outer ear infection. So it's the canal, I guess, right where my ear is inflamed and infected. So one of you callers, y'all didn't wash your mouth out before you called, and y'all got some of them germs up in my ear. I don't know. I don't know. Or it was from swimming in the pool. We're going to go with swimming in the pool. But, you know, it was the worst pain yesterday. Oh, my God. It felt like every time my heart beat, it was a pulsating pain in my head. And, man, I don't wish that on anybody. So make sure you know, don't get no water in your ears. Keep your ears clean, people. Good Lord. But this is like the first ear infection I think I've ever had as an adult. Damn mosquitoes. Does mosquitoes give you ear infections? I've never heard that one. Swimmer's ear. Yeah, it might be. But I took drops when my ear first started hurting. I used the swimmer ear stuff. You know, you put it in there for your ear. It didn't do nothing, right? If anything, it made it worse. And then, of course, I went to the doctor Friday, and they prescribed me medicines for it. And then I took everything they gave me, and I slept for it. It put me down. I'll tell you that. It put me to sleep. I slept good. No, there's nothing in my ear. They looked all in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Told me, hey, your eardrum's good. Everything's good. It's inflamed. It's infected. You know, take 2 of these and do this, and you'll be good in about 7 days. So, ear and tooth pain at the worst. Yeah, well, imagine having them both at the same time. Okay, I just got the tooth extracted with the bone spurs sticking through my gums and the ear infection on top of it. But the ear infection hurt so bad I can't even feel the tooth, right? So it took away my tooth pain. And sterilize your headphones after every use. I never thought about that. I don't think I've ever washed these in like 3 years. Okay. And I mean, I don't mean to say that to be nasty sounding, but I can't think of one time I've ever washed these headphones. Now that y'all say it, now I want to watch them. Hold on. I got some white pads here. Hold on. Let me. Now that you said something, I have never cleaned these headphones one time in 3 years. Or 2 years. However long I had them. I bought a couple different pair. So now that y'all saying something, let me hit this with alcohol wipe. Good, well, I didn't even think about that. Okay. So now they're clean. But here's the thing. Nobody else uses my headphones but me. So it ain't like somebody else comes in and wears my headphones. So the only person to wear these headphones in the last couple years has been me. And I don't think I've had these for a couple years. I've had these for probably a year, maybe a little bit over a year. Once you have swimmer's ear, you'll get it again and again every time you go under. No, I bought earplugs. Okay. So when this happened, I went on Amazon and ordered me some of the really good earplugs. So when I do go in my pool, I don't get water in my ear. I've learned my lesson. Outer ear infection can get on your headset. Well, okay. Well, let's don't jinx it. Okay. One, this ear has been left open. I've been keeping the headphone off of this ear. I just did. I sterilized the headphones as soon as somebody said something. I never thought about it. I've never had an ear infection. So, Sounds like it's right. No, the tooth got pulled on this side. I got an ear infection on this side. Okay, so now my face is swollen on both sides. Okay, that's terrible. I just got the worst luck ever. I think it's karma. It's something I did in my past life, and God's just paying me back for it. I don't know. This is why I try to be a good person so bad things don't happen. Right? I guess I did a lot of bad stuff when I was young, so I'm paying for it now. You know, that's how I look at karma. I'm like, I must have did something, right? His whole face is messed up. Yeah, my whole shit. It ain't just normal ugly. It's extra ugly now. It ain't that I'm ugly. It's just I'm swolled up. Like I can feel the swelling right here behind like my cheekbone right here. Feels all swollen. And then of course there's a little swelling here where I had that wisdom tooth pulled out in the back. And but like I said, that ain't that bad because this hurts so bad. Yeah, I don't wish it on anybody. So, you know, in these videos, we see that this girl has plenty of emotions. Let me open the phone lines back up before I just talk y'all to death. And whatever's going on with her now seems to be something new. And I don't know what changed in her life. I mean, I know she changed boyfriends, but when we see Daniel, he don't seem like that bad of a guy, but we don't know what he's like behind closed doors. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
Hey, it's Three Sides. Can you catch me up? I've been like MIA. I've been working too much.
I've been down for 2 days myself, but I guess that, you know, the rumor on the street is Durwood is saying 100% these kids are alive and that Malaya handed them off to somebody. There's also rumors that they brought in Malaya and Daniel for more questioning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay. So we ain't missed a whole lot, except for that they think the kids are alive.
She has an old YouTube channel that we found from 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what's on the screen now. Is her old YouTube channel. But it's her when she was a young girl and she was a happy kid, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, we see her emotionless, but in these videos we've been watching, she has plenty of emotion. You know, from curiosity to happiness to she talks about a little bit of depression in the videos. So maybe she's been battling that for a long time.
So nothing new, damn it.
Well, nothing like oh my God new, but you know, the fact that he's saying this kid is 100% alive and he knows for a fact.
Right, I saw that earlier, but I didn't know where it came from or if it was true or not.
Well, that's what he's saying. It don't mean I don't 100% mean it's true, but so far, I mean, he don't seem like a guy that's just out here trying to lie. He's connected to the family, which makes it really weird, you know. So that gives him a little bit of credibility, but like we don't know, we don't really truly know.
No, of course.
He could be protecting Daniel because I don't know what reason he would protect Daniel unless the rumors are true that he's with one of Logan's parents or mama or grandma or something.
That's what I think. That's what I think. I think that the parents came and got him, knew they were going to be sleeping and just came and swoop him up.
I mean, it's possible. You know, he alleges that, you know, he woke up when she was getting in the bed or moving around in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives her, you know, an opportunity to get rid of these kids. But I don't think.
Oh, somebody just said in the chat, these babies are not alive.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, if you're going by statistics,
yes, you're right.
They're most likely not. If we're going by what people are saying, then they are. But I mean, do you see the police putting out any APBs for these kids?
Nope.
So I don't think the police.
Yeah, there's a reason why they backed off. I mean, they always know more than we know, and that's what everybody's got to understand. They always know more than we know.
Yeah, I would say 98.8% of the time they do. There's every now and then where the police don't know nothing.
Yeah,
and more stuff is coming out on the internet than the police. So I mean,
what do you think? I'd like to know what you think. What do you think, Dolly?
I'm conflicted. I think statistically they're dead.
Right.
I pray though that Durwood is telling the truth and Daniel is telling the truth. and the kids are alive, and Malaya's a fucking nutcase. I hope that is the case, right? But I mean,
So what's he saying when he's saying they're alive? Where's he saying they're at? Like, what's he saying?
He's saying that they got took to a reservation. Then he thinks they've been moved since then, and they could be anywhere now, but they're alive and being taken care of, and they're fine.
And the reason why they took them?
There ain't no legitimate reason. That's the one thing. But with crazy women, right?
Right.
There don't have to be a reason. I've learned that.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Some women are just so crazy they ain't even no reason. They throw reasoning out the window, right?
Well, he wanted to be single, apparently.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it seems like to me. And you know, it goes into the girl in Tennessee that I was down there covering. Can I think of her name right quick? Megan Boswell.
Oh, right.
And Megan, you know, she basically threw her kid in the trash because she wanted to start a relationship with this dude.
Oh my God. That's like Susan Smith took their kids and put them in the damn river or whatever, in the lake. Remember that?
Blamed it on the black man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because she wanted to date somebody and wanted to be away from her husband, she did all that.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Chris Watts. He had a new girlfriend and didn't want to divorce his wife, so he killed her and the kids. And
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't get
divorce. People just get away if you don't want to be with the person, but you don't got to do all this.
You can get a divorce online now for like $300.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It ain't even expensive. We'll divorce you right now for $2.99.
Right. And then they payments. It's like over the top, you know, like they say, if you know they lying so much or they talking too much, then they're lying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why so much? Oh, it's just insane. Dolly could teach us a class now on Nutter Mama 101.
Yeah, I think I could. I mean, all you got to do is take all logic and all reason and sling it out the window, because when people, when they get in these psycho moments in their life, all that goes out the window, right? Nothing makes sense. There ain't no reason.
How old is she?
I don't know exactly how old Malaya is. To be honest, I don't know how old she is.
Yeah, I just wonder if she's like getting ready to go through the change, or if she's having periods. I know that sounds crazy, but
you talking about like menopause and stuff? I don't think she's that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think
she's not that old yet.
Nah. I think she's in her, if anything, late 20s, early 30s.
Oh my God! Someone just said when the Susan Smith case happened, I was about 10 or younger. Well, I was about 35 when that happened, and I remember pulling off the side of the road on the way to work when I heard that what she did to them kids. I was like, it was so out of realm. Now, like, it's normal. Like, now we hear it all the time. But back then, that was so out of the norm.
Yeah, people are doing some stuff so horrible these days.
Oh my God!
Just like when I was in Tennessee, there was that lady that took her baby over to the lake and drowned it, and then turned herself in.
I sent you and PJ the video. I don't know if you watched it, but I know PJ did, of my ex-boyfriend's wife who killed their baby.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Oprah, and she did it from postpartum, and she didn't even go to jail or nothing.
That's insane. I'm a man. I can't even speak on that, because I say something, all women will get mad at me. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's too much. It's all too much. But yeah, like, it used to be not the norm. Like when Susan Smith thing happened, it was insane. Like, we couldn't even believe. Like I said, I pulled over on the way to work and I was like bawling. I was like, oh my God, she like really killed her kids and put them in the water. You know, now it's like every day we hear about it. Somebody doing some stupid shit like that.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Hey, I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Thank you for catching me up, hon.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, and you know, the rumors is that they've been brought back in for more questioning, which they're gonna do that for a while anyway. That's the same thing they did with Leilani. They kept bringing her in, and then she'd volunteer to come in, and then they bring her in. She probably did 5-6 different sets of interrogations. I watched them when I was in court down there. Same thing with Megan Boswell. She did a bunch of different interrogations too. They took so long to arrest her. I think postpartum is a chemical imbalance, not a normal depression or funk. Now, listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to speak on it. A lot of people say when you're 19 months afterwards, it's too late to have postpartum. I mean, I don't know. I think 3 kids on any young lady, 3 young kids, is going to be stressful enough, right? Sometimes 1 kid is hard to deal with. Most Leslie, 3 young ones, right? So, maybe the pressure was too much for her, but these young parents, I know most everybody here are either parents or grandparents. You got to tell your kids, hey, if these kids get too much for you, never be afraid to reach out to me, especially as a grandparent, because you don't want this to happen to your child murder your grandchild, because then you lose your child and you lose your grandkids, right? So even if 1 kid, stress, sometimes people need a break. Sometimes just life itself is overwhelming. Even me, sometimes I just need a break, and I ain't got no kids here now. I still need a break. Damn internet's stressful. I'm like, I need a break. So, I can understand it. Like, sometimes you need a little bit of time to catch your breath, right? And life is stressful on some people, and some people worry themselves half to death too. And I'm thinking she's had some mental health issues from the time she was a child. I like to hear from her parents, but her mom's not talking. Her mom's not lawyering up. Well, her mama got her lawyered up, and they're not saying anything. And I think that right there, let me open the phone lines back up, is one of those huge red flags, because we know most people would be out there begging people to help find their child. And Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
Hey, this is Raby from Alabama. How are you?
Did you? Okay, I got only 1 ear. Did you say rabies?
Raby, R-E-B-I.
Ruby? Ruby?
Okay, R-E, like rebel.
Okay.
But with Rabe-E.
Okay. Whatever you said.
It's fine. Yeah.
I'm just
I'm
go
the
with
chick
rabies.
from Alabama, okay? I'm the chick from
Alabama.
Alabama.
Okay.
No, I mean, just what I wanted to say about it is, I'm sorry, but you've got this woman sitting there and she supposedly doesn't know where her kids are and she's not looking for them. That's bullshit.
I agree.
She knows where they are. I'm not saying that she knows, I don't know if that's a good situation or a bad situation, but she knows where they are, because if she didn't, she would be out looking for them.
I mean, I think so too. I mean, I honestly do. I'm thinking, but I know people handle traumatic situations different.
They do,
but
and that is true. But man, I mean, I can remember my 3-year-old got outside one day. We were getting ready for a trip, and he was outside for 5 minutes, and he hid from me behind some bushes. The whole neighborhood knew.
Yeah.
Because I went nuts looking for that kid, and I don't know. And as far as he goes, I think he knows too. And I think it's like you said, I think that he's just trying to cover for his woman, thinking that maybe after all this is over with, he might have a chance to, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to honestly happen. I think in his mind, he's thinking that because
that's what I'm thinking. He's thinking.
Yeah. But in reality, if you step back and look at the whole picture, that relationship is over.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying their physical relationship is over, but maybe they'll write each other or something one day. But far as them being together, I think that's over. And if he is covering for her, he needs to start protecting himself, because he might end up going down.
That's right. Absolutely. I mean, dang, you got to get some balls and sometimes you got to just stop and say, okay.
You got to realize when it's over. And I think a lot of men have that problem. Don't know when it's over. They keep trying and trying, but it's been over.
Absolutely.
100%.
And her mom's not talking either. Like my mother, if one of my kids went missing and I was doing what this girl's doing, My mother would be beating me with a switch all over. There's no way that would
I
happen.
know. I say the same thing. I can't see why the grandmother's not out there being public and
Yes.
bringing awareness to this, and the mother's
I think
not.
it's got to have something to do with. I think it's like they're part of that Mi'kmaq tribe, and I
Or the mother
don't
knows
feel that
she's
the
done
grandmother
something,
liked it that she took the kids off the reservation to begin with.
or that mother knows she's done something and she's protecting her daughter.
Yeah, and she's gonna have to recognize too. Aiding and abetting. It'll get you a charge too.
Yeah, I'm thinking Malaya may be a little bit nuts. I mean, I hate to say that. I just thinking she may be a little bit crazy. Because if she hurt her kids, she's definitely crazy. Because normal people don't hurt their kids. So
Absolutely.
I'm thinking from way back she's had some mental health issues, because Daniel kind of hints to it in a lot of things he say. Well, don't say nothing about her because it may affect her mental health.
Right.
Well, what's going on with her mental health that's any different than anybody else,
Exactly. Like watching those videos, from her YouTube. I mean, you can tell there's a difference. I mean, she honestly, the one little video that we've seen of her anyway, she looks like she's not even there. It's almost like she's talking about, okay, I came home from the grocery store and I lost 2 apples on the way. Instead of my kids are missing.
Well, these videos that we're playing now are from 10 years ago when she was still in high school.
Yeah.
And she seemed a lot more happy, and you can see the curiosity, and she talked about depression in one of them. She was depressed that school was ending because all her friends were going to be gone. And I mean, we just don't know the level of depression this woman's going through.
And that's one thing that, I can say is that, mental health is something that as human beings, we have just not mastered the ability to, get everybody the help that they need. Mental health is one of the biggest problems that we have, but sometimes it's the hardest to get help for.
Yep. I say the same thing. 2 biggest problems in America is homelessness and mental health and medical.
Absolutely.
Medical
100%.
I think it's the biggest thing. And if we took that more serious in our country, we would have a better country for sure.
Oh, we would. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's awful. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time. And I'm sorry about all your face pain and everything.
It's okay.
Anything above the shoulders is just bad.
It's just karma. I did something bad in my past life. I'm paying for it.
Well,
I probably deserve it.
You farted in church.
Yeah, it probably did.
Yeah.
All right. You be good.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Peace. I'm getting paid back for something I did. I know that. Okay. I don't know exactly what, but I do believe in karma. And I don't know, the whole ear infection thing, it is what it is. I'll be okay. At least I've gotten worse news from the doctors than, it's an ear infection. Okay. I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? Just don't come back and tell me, hey, you got 3 months to live. And I mean, that's totally different. So I didn't get the worst news when I went to the doctor Friday. Plus, thank God, they got the medicines, and it is helping, not a lot so far, but, I'm hoping it will.
Really scary. If you Google or something, the zipper, it's freaking crazy. Other people might have different opinions on the zipper. They might be like, oh, this thing's so boring, but don't listen to those people. Those people are party poopers. This thing is amazing. That's my exhibition funness for yesterday. That is what happened to me. It was fun. I'm gonna go now. Bye.
Okay, like I said, she seemed like a happy young lady, and then something took a dramatic turn, right? And listen, she may be that same person. But, if you're missing your kid, maybe that's why she seemed the way she did. But she definitely seemed really cold and like, how can your kids be missing and you talking about it so nonchalantly? Dolly.
Doug from Tennessee.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, I got a question.
I got an answer.
What would it matter? Because Daniel has no ties to these children. What she did with them.
It don't matter, but she told the police that she don't know where they're at. That's what matters. It don't matter what Daniel thinks.
Well, if she says that he made her say that, I mean, she can take them kids and adopt them out, and there ain't nothing he can say. Because he has no say so.
Oh,
They're
I
not
know.
his children.
I know. That's what I've been screaming the whole time. They ain't his kids. Why would she hide them?
That's why she put them on the reservation with her mother. And
the mother's not on the reservation. The father's on the reservation.
Yeah, but there ain't nothing he can do about it.
The Brooks are on the reservation. Does that sound like a native name to you, Brooks?
No.
It don't sound native to me. It sounds American as hell. Brooks is your last name? I used to go to school with a dude named Brooks. That was his last name.
You know what I'm saying, though. She don't have to tell him nothing what she does with them children.
Oh, I know. But why lie to the police? That's where we get
because he made her. Because he's got control over her.
I don't think so.
I believe so, because he strikes me as a control freak.
You take him as a control freak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do what I say and not what you think. You do what I tell you to do.
I tell that to PJ all the time, and she never listens.
He whoop you. Hey, he whoop you though.
I try to be a control freak. It just don't work.
Cause she's about taller than you, ain't she?
Yeah, she's about my height. PJ's about my height.
I still think she could take you.
I think she can take me too. I think that's why she don't listen.
But I tell you, it might be me, man. I might have given you the ear infection.
You think it was you?
Yeah, I call in so much.
Damn, Durwood told that dirty joke. It might have got my ear.
Oh yeah.
Remember when
you didn't like that neither? I ain't never heard you say something like that to people.
What did I say to him?
Don't say that word on my show.
Oh yeah, he infected my ear. He got me.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, brother. I just believe that SA had something to do with it. And she found out and told her parents.
Yeah, but why is he in jail? And why would you hide the kids and just not have him arrested if that was the case?
Because she's not told the police yet. She's not told the police that he's done it. If she don't tell them, they can't do nothing about it. If she don't say, well, he SA'd these children.
Wow, Brooks is Malaya's family's last name. Her last name was Brooks before she was. That's why she's Brooks. Okay, that's why it's Malaya Brooks, is because her family is Brooks.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying though? If he did something to these children, and she don't tell it, it take a while for it to come out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you would tell it. You wouldn't go through all this. This has been a month and a half. You would, unless she's absolutely insane in the membrane. Went insane. Got no brain.
Well, anybody to go from where she was at to where she's at now is insane.
Well, I mean,
to have a nice place, look good, dress good. Now you live in a slum hole, look like you're about 40-year-old, and like Daniel losing all of his teeth.
Mm-hmm. Did he lose his teeth?
Well, you can look at him on the show, man. They starting to decay.
Yeah.
And you know what makes it? You know what makes your teeth decay that quick?
Age?
No, the M pipe.
Oh yeah.
That big old
2 + 2 doing that math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got that big old pecker in his mouth there. They call it big bowl of pecker they use.
I don't know. Everybody says they know. Daniel says he don't do drugs.
Well, his face is something.
He said all Malaya's ever done is smoke, like herbage.
But you look at the pictures of when she was and what she was, and their face same thing.
Well, her face didn't look bad. Her face didn't look sunk in, even when she did the interview. I don't think her face looked sunk in.
But you could tell she looked older.
She looked a little bit older, but she probably don't have any makeup on or anything.
But look at him. When you see him again, you'll see his bone structure is coming out. And that's the first sign is your bone structure starts coming out and you look like a skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, or you skinny. There's skinny people in this world too, Doug. I know you probably ate a few of them in your day.
Yeah, probably did. But you can still, when they're skinny people, but they ain't face.
You want me to tell you who ain't skinny? Me. I went to the doctor and I weighed myself. You know what I weighed, Doug?
What's that?
I weighed 190 pounds.
Man, hey, you're a little butterball out.
I know. That's what I said. I was like, man, I got to cut out sodas. I got to cut something out. I'm 190 pounds. I don't think I've ever weighed 190 pounds.
What's that food that your wife been feeding you?
Too much.
Your girlfriend been feeding?
Too much food, maybe? I don't know. I was like,
what? You said she's she's not from the United States.
Croatian. She's Croatian.
Yeah, you eating that Croatian food that puts the weight on you.
I haven't eaten any Croatian food. Every time I go over to her parents, they're always trying to feed me something, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I just ate.
They trying to fatten you up for it is.
I guess. They don't need to fatten me up much. Matter of fact, PJ's mama told me I was fat. She's like, you getting fat. Sound like a mobster saying it. Like, you need to go to gym.
You don't look like me for long, brother.
I guess. I don't know.
They say you know, once you get older, you build your tool shed.
I guess, right? All right, Doug.
All right, peace, y'all. Have a good one. Bye, peace.
All right, peace.
Later.
If I was 170, I'd be good. I was 190 at the doctor Friday, right? I was like 190 pounds. What? I walk around at usually 165, 170. Right? When I stepped on the scale and that damn thing said 190, I was like, what the hell have I been eating? I must have been eating everything. Okay. I got to put down the chunky monkey ice cream. I got a quart of ice cream in there now. But I'll start my diet tomorrow. Right. But my tooth hurt and my face hurts. So I need something cold. And the only thing I could think of cold to eat is ice cream. So I've been crushing since my tooth and stuff. I've been eating a lot of ice cream, and I don't know if that's added a lot of weight to me or what, but hey, or that scale was wrong. Okay. One or the other. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly. It's Margot from Florida.
It's murder.
Margot.
Okay. I only got one ear. I'm sorry. I thought you said murder.
No, it's okay. I know you got a lot going on.
Can you call back and staying alive? How about that?
I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
So I've listened to Durwood a couple times, and I was also watching when the Logan cousin called as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe Durwood up until the other day when he started vouching for Logan. For some reason, it bothers me that this girl keeps wanting Meadow. Like she was trying to fight Malia. Like something.
You know,
does not
did
feel
you hear
right
what I
to me
said
about
earlier?
that.
But I heard a rumor that he dates Logan's mother or grandmother.
And so when you said that today, I was like,
That's what I heard. I don't know.
And
if it's true.
I don't know. I kind of do. Up until he started vouching for her, I kind of was like, he could be telling the truth. But now I also had this underlying feeling, like you mentioned earlier, like, is this like kind of like a ploy to like mislead, like, don't look at Daniel, don't look, like, to kind of vouch for him and make him look like the good guy? And I'm not saying he did anything. I'm not saying he's not a good guy, but it almost feels like, could it be set up to kind of
like
give this
a campaign of misdirection?
Right, to like put it out there. But there's something I would like to know. I would like I know you said you would like to ask Durwood if he calls back. I would really like to know his actual relationship with Logan and that side of the family, because I think it does matter at this point now. Because he did kind of have me there when he was Malaya's third cousin or whatever, twice removed. But like, you know, I was like, okay.
I mean, it
So
could be
there
both.
might be
He
some
could be
connection.
Malaya's
And
third
he seems,
cousin and dating her. It could be both.
it could be both, but then that makes me question a lot still. It's just like, oh, well, why didn't he say that then? Like, why, when it was brought up and he's talking about Logan, and he didn't say, and by the way, just, you know, so you guys know, like, you know,
I'm banging
I don't know.
grandma or mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless that's just like something that was completely made up, like we don't know yet, but I would like to see the validation on that, because that makes me, I already was feeling weird about that whole situation, and like, why does that family, like, it's almost like they want to have the meadow over there, like, I don't know.
My
It's
whole
just,
thing
there's
with Durwood is, why would he take up for Daniel and not Malaya? So it made me already a little questionable of that. And then, you know, my sources, I got turtles everywhere, right? And one of my little turtles came to me and said, Dolly, you know, he dates, I can go look. It's the mom or the grandma. Give me a second. Let me look. Let's see what they said. Hold on. Let me look. I can't quite remember.
And did they like discover this through Facebook somehow?
I mean, I don't know. It's just a source came to me and said, hey,
and like we've spoken about before, it's a smaller area, popular, like a lot of people know people. So like,
yeah,
this could just be common knowledge too.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the message.
But that's the one thing that would throw me off, and I already was kind of feeling a little
skeptical.
Yeah. I don't understand just the need for Logan to have the child, and why and like she like right away, like I know Daniel has not had Meadow in custody, but now and like, other than Daniel in the chat and Durwood, has there been any other confirmation that Meadow was taken from, or is that just from the two of them?
Just from the
like,
two
has
of
this
them.
been?
I've only heard it from Durwood. I haven't heard it anywhere else but Durwood.
I thought Daniel confirmed that within the chat, but I could be wrong, because I was not really
No, because when Daniel was
I thought you had said that, but I could be wrong.
When Daniel was in the chat, they hadn't taken her yet.
Okay.
Because as he was saying that if they take her, okay, hold on, I'll tell you what he said. Logan's grandmother. He dates Logan's grandmother.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean,
Daniel's cousin Logan, fiance, is dating Durwood O'Grady. Okay, so she's dating the grandmother of Logan. Durwood is. That's what people are alleging.
Okay.
I just had to go back.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say it wrong. I couldn't remember if it was the mother or the grandmother, but they're saying it's the grandmother of Logan.
Yeah. I mean, I want to believe him. I think we all do. We're like, we hope these kids are safe, and I don't have any reason, like.
And that would make sense why he's
picking
up for Daniel, if he is dating Logan's. Now, when I asked about Logan, was Logan a good person? He said, yeah, he didn't go into any detail, like I'm dating her grandma. You would think he would have.
No, I really do. I mean, I think that's like a topic of conversation.
And
to say something along the lines of like, and by the way,
if it was
I do
like
have a connection.
If it was earlier in the day, he's usually in the chat. So it's just we're streaming so late, he's not here for us to ask him himself. But tomorrow I'll try to go live at a decent time so I can ask him. I mean, I have his number. I could call him, but I ain't gonna call him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just being respectful. But I could send him a
surprise.
Yeah, I'll hit him up tomorrow and ask him. There's some other stuff I heard too. I like to fact check some of it before I go,
Absolutely.
because when I call everybody the turtle game because there's turtles everywhere. You go to the desert, there's turtles. It don't matter where you at on this planet. You can be in the ocean, there's turtles. Land, there's turtles. The turtles are everywhere. And my turtles be talking. They be talking. They're talking turtles. And they be letting me know shit no matter where you at. I got a turtle there. I guarantee it. You find a place on this planet, I guarantee you there's a Dolly turtle somewhere lurking around.
That's awesome.
All
Go
right.
Turtle Gang. You
All
keep them coming. All right. Thank you so much, Dolly, and feel better.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.
We got eyes everywhere. We got eyes everywhere. And that's how I be knowing so much stuff. That's how I know more than the police sometimes. Because, you got, what are we, almost at 70,000 people? And a lot of people don't like to be named. Like the person that told me that, they said, don't say who I am. And I never do. I never tell sources that don't want to be told. Okay. I have so many sources. So many people tell me things. And I do share if they want it to be shared. I'll share it. But if they don't, and that's for anybody. You want to tell me something, you don't, you got something you want to keep. You might be a neighbor or you might be a friend and you don't want nobody to know it. Tell me. I mean, I can't say that's true. I'll let people know, hey, this is what somebody told me. I don't know how true it is, but I'll let you guys know. I passed a message is what it basically is. Dolly. Hello. Okay, goodbye. Can we order our pizza now? I hope not. Dolly. Okay. One more time, I'm going to block your number. Okay, there you go. You're getting blocked. All right, as soon as you pop up over here, I'm throwing you on the block screen. So you worked your way to the block. Oh, there it is. Let me block you. This way you don't call me no more. Block number. Bam. There you go. Whatever you did, you just got blocked. And here's the thing, guys. I don't know how to unblock people. Can I unblock you? Yeah, I can unblock you. But we're going to leave you blocked for now. So you don't call me again. You call twice and hang up back to back like that, you get blocked. Okay? So you ain't going to be ringing my phone off the hook like you crazy. Hanging up on me. I want Malaya to call in. Now listen, Malaya, she can come up here anytime she wants. All she has to do is reach out or call in, have some way to prove it's her, right? At least let it link back to this Facebook page that has 27 subscribers. Okay. No comments. Let me leave her a comment. Hey, I want to talk to you. The only comment she got. Let me give her video a like. Okay, there you go. I liked and left a comment. That's what you guys are supposed to do here. Good viewers do that. You see, I watched her video. I liked it. I left a comment. Look, now she has 28 subscribers. Okay, I just subbed up. And I'm going to ring that bell for notifications. Okay. All. You click on all. That's what you guys out there need to be doing for me so I can hit 70,000. All right. So if you're watching out there in the ether, sub up. And then I want you in the chat room to put, Dolly, I just subbed your channel. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys a big virtual hug. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. Nobody gives virtual hugs like Dolly. I think I'm the only person that gives virtual hugs, to be a matter of fact, because I'm an idiot. So who else out here is giving y'all big virtual hugs, right? You come in, sub up real fast, then come into the chat room and be like, Dolly, I just subbed. I want to say hello to you. All right. Where's her link? I don't know. It's at the top of the screen. I don't have it copied. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Besides your face, I'm sorry about that.
That's my face. Well, yeah, it's been killing.
I mean, your face being sore. I'm sorry. That came out wrong.
Sorry, it's your ugly ass. How you doing, Dolly, with your ugly ass face?
No, I did. You know, I didn't mean.
I know what you meant. I know.
So hey, I have a bunch of questions. So one, okay, so Malaya, so she was supposed to have their kids. She wasn't supposed to not be with her mom. I forget. She violated the order, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't think of the word. All right. So is there any update on that?
The update is allegedly they took Meadow from her.
Well, where is she?
I guess she would be in custody of CPS. And from the rumors on the street that
not Meadow.
Malaya's with her family, the Brooks, on the reservation. That's the newest rumor. Now, I don't know for sure because I'm not there, so I can't tell you exactly, but that's what I'm hearing.
So in on a reservation, you don't get incarcerated when you violate. Like they take the kid and you're fine. You don't get
CPS
arrested?
ain't the police. If you was to violate a court order, you get arrested. A CPS order is from.
Oh, I thought it was a court order.
That's just an order through the CPS.
Oh, okay. Okay, so and the second thing is.
Hold on one second. Rosebuds, if you were the one that kept calling me from hold on, let me see what the number this is. 860 number, you got blocked because you kept calling and hanging up. But if you're somebody else, if it's you, I'll unblock you, just let me know. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just curious of yours because I've been listening to like this entire thing now that Karen Reed's that case is over, and some other cases. I'm getting really frustrated with this case because it's like I really hope that the kids are safe, and I'm gonna be like really frustrated with the entire situation. That it's like my comment said, like teen mom type thing. If it's a relationship issue, like did she have she's seeing somebody else and have some guy pick up her kids, or did she take off?
I thought about that too.
Yeah. And because to me that because every time I hear you and your everybody that calls in and stuff that that they're done with, that he's gonna have a really hard that he might think that there's a chance, even though he's backing her up and everything, that she's with another guy and starting a whole nother life. I mean, she obviously is clearly done, but so the other thing is that I really do believe when I hear people, like I hear them out, everybody, anybody in any situation, but this Derwin, or I don't know if I said that right, it's interesting to me that he started doing all this whenever there's a $150,000. Like, are these people all in it together? Do you think that there's also, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm thinking logically, why then now these people in the family know them or whatnot?
Well, I can tell you now, I turned somebody in my family for $150,000. 30 slam in.
Knick knack paddywhack, give a dog a bone, right?
You going to jail? You in my family is $150,000 reward.
I don't know, but we don't hear anything about the searches anymore. So also, is this a distraction? These are just things that I think about. I'm analytical. I put everything in, and I go by facts, and I also go by like, what the heck? This is weird.
Yeah, I go with this is weird a lot.
So maybe Daniel or somebody should come up and maybe clarify some of these things. If you think that they're like logical points, I think they are.
I think what Daniel says on the internet is a lot more towards Malaya, and then what he says on news is more in general. Like he don't say nothing bad about Malaya on the news. He defends her on the news, but when he comes on to YouTube or text messaging with somebody or in the comments, he's saying worse things. He's not telling that to the news, which he should. He should tell these things to the news. That's what he needs to understand. Like,
yeah.
I truly think he thinks one day everything's gonna be okay between him and Malaya, and he don't want to completely destroy that. I get it, but at the same time, I don't think she's coming back, bro. I just don't.
See, you can tell these kind of people till they're blue in the face, and they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So, but one more thing, Dolly, and I'll clear up your phone line. The grandma that did that interview, I only watched that one time, and it was really quick. Whose grandma was that?
That's the biological father's mother.
Oh, the one that was in prison.
He was never
he's never been in prison.
He's never been in prison, according to her. He never lived in America or anything. He lives with her now, and yeah.
Okay, so all right, so there's a chance maybe Malia went back to her ex.
No, she didn't go back. She didn't go back to him. That's for sure.
He's on house arrest, right?
No. That's all internet gossip. According to the grandma.
I looked up his records. I looked up his records and stuff, and he was on house arrest last I checked.
I don't know. She didn't say nothing about that, about him being on house arrest. She just said he ain't in prison like everybody said, and he ain't this and he ain't that.
Well, I think and I'll clear up your phone lines, but yeah. So I think that it's a blessing that if they are not hurt, because they haven't found anything out there in those woods.
Yeah.
Even though it's really hard to go through all that, and I really hope that is the fact, and that she knows that if they're with somebody else, then okay, but let's get down to it and let's get this over with, because we have a lot of other kids we need to be looking for and a lot of other missing persons. But I do think that she's with somebody, and it could be the ex. Yeah, I think Daniel speaking the truth could help us out a lot more in finding out actually what's going on.
Yes. Amen. All right. I will talk to you later.
Amen. All right. Bye. Feel better. Bye.
Peace. Okay. Thank you for subbing up. We're getting closer and closer, right, to that 70K. I can't do it without each and every one of you, especially my late night people. All right. This video right here. All right. After this call. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Sky Maiden calling from Colorado.
Okay, did you say Sky Lady?
Sky Maiden.
Okay, I ain't even gonna murder that.
Same difference.
Yeah, I got one.
Yes.
I only got one good ear right now.
That's okay. I've only got one brain cell between the both of us.
Okay, all right, we'll share it.
Okay. Okay, you get the better part though, because I'm 65, so you don't want that part.
Okay.
Okay. That statement that you read about Malaya, oh no, excuse me, Daniel's cousin Logan.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Derwood is dating her fiance's grandmother or her grandmother?
That I'm not.
I thought I heard the word fiance.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it back up.
I'm pretty sure I heard the word fiance.
Okay, this lady's fiance is Logan's grandmother. Daniel's cousin Logan's fiance is dating Derwood O'Grady.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me read that out. I don't even understand that. This lady's.
Yeah, because I thought it was Logan's fiance.
Daniel's cousin.
So
her fiance grandmother is in Logan.
Okay.
No, it's dating Derwood. My bad. So the guy's grandmother is dating Derwood.
Logan's fiance.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot. I had me confused.
Yeah, because I heard the word fiance and I was like, well, wait a minute. So it seems like there's a word missing in there somewhere. But that's why I called in, just to see what that was, and wondering if it wasn't the fiance's grandmother as opposed to Logan's.
No, I guess it's the guy. The way it's worded, I guess it's her boyfriend's, her fiance's grandmother.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Not Logan. I said it wrong.
I
said it wrong too. I guess I read it wrong, but I guess it's the fiance's grandmother is dating Derwood.
Okay, that's what I started thinking, and I thought, well, I typed it in the chat, but then I thought, no, I'm going to call him because it's bugging my butt to find out what it was.
Yeah, and I read it to you exactly like it was written to me. So
yeah. Sometimes people forget to put words in or don't clarify. So But okay, well, I'm going to let you go, and I hope you feel better and take care of that brain cell.
All right. Peace.
Okay. Peace. Bye-bye.
That brain cell. I only got one myself, right? Things. What time is it where you're at, Dolly? It is 2:20 a.m. in the morning here where I'm at. Okay. So I'm doing a little overtime. I slept for, I don't know, 20 some hours because I took my meds when I got back from the doctor yesterday. And that was around, I don't know, 7 o'clock. And then I just went immediately to sleep, and I slept. I was in pain, so I slept, and then I woke up a few times with my whole face hurting, and it's starting to hurt again. When the eardrops and stuff start to wear off, it starts to really kick back up like, ow, and it hurts all down the side of my face into my jawbone. So I'm just trying to make the best of it. It really sucks when I try to eat. It's terribly painful, sharp, like stabbing pain. I don't wish it on anybody. It sucks. So I figure since I'm awake, I might as well hang out with you guys and discuss the case and, all this stuff that's coming out in it. I don't know if these kids are alive, guys. This may be some, if it was that easy, I think the police would have it. And they don't. So now this video right here, it says this is her, 10 years ago now. You got to remember that. These videos are from 10 years ago. And it says about me. And I like to learn a little bit about her. So we're going to watch this video.
Hi guys, it's Malaya. It's more of like an about me video. So that, I don't know, because since I'm getting into this YouTube thing, I just thought it'd be more appropriate to know about me. So yeah, so things that you should know about me is that I'm tattoo addicted. I love tattoos, and well, I don't plan on having too many tattoos, but I just want quite a few. I have quite a few animals. I don't know the number at the moment, but I will tell you their names and what kind of animal they are. A horse. It's a Percheron horse, and her name is Raven.
She had a horse.
I used to have another horse, and he was an Appaloosa, but he had to get put down. His name was Dandy. Now I plan on getting a tattoo that resembles him. Also, I have can't think right now. I have a golden retriever dog named Kavai. He looks like a monk right now because we had to shave his head because he got hot spots, and if you want to know what hot spots is, look it up on the internet. I have a little Shih Tzu named Gabriella. She's she's something else. This cat named Mittens. He's got no tail, and he's just Mittens.
Crazy Daisy. Y'all post my Facebook link for Crazy Daisy, and Crazy Daisy, send me the link to that TikTok if you could. I appreciate it.
2 beta fish. One's name is Neo, and the other one's Bubbles. And that's basically all the animals I have, but I really want more, and I'm like really sweaty right now because it's just so hot. It's a hot day. Horseback ride, but I had to quit because my back problems would not go away. Raven, when I first rode her when she was green, I got bucked off, and forever now I have back problems. Also,
when I went and rode that horse like a couple weeks ago, I was all kind of sore from riding that horse. What was that horse's name? Bruce. Okay. If you don't never ride a horse and you go jump on a horse, you are going to be sore as shit the next day.
Dream catchers, and like my favorite animal is wolves. I love animals, all kinds, but my most favorite animal is a wolf. And if I could get a husky dog.
So her favorite animal is a wolf. Okay. Now, is she a wolf in teenager girl's clothing? All right. or a wolf in sheep's clothing. Hey, Kathlena, well, let me help you out by blocking you. There you go. Then you don't got to worry about my titles. Okay. You're out of here. You can't even say shit anymore. So that way you ain't got to worry about my titles. You don't have to worry about watching my channel. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. You picked the wrong day to come in saying some slick shit. Right?
They resemble wolves. I would, but
I don't like your name. How about that?
I'm only 16. Can't happen. So I like hair extensions.
And just remember, woman, you watching me. I ain't watching you. Did I hit you up? Did I call you up and be like, hey, come watch my video? I don't remember doing that.
Actually wearing them right now. They're like this blue color. I don't know what color this blue would be, like cobalt blue. Yeah. And I like Wiccan stuff like that.
She likes Wiccan stuff. Is she a witch? Okay.
Get him, Dolly. Hilarious.
There you go. All right. I don't like her titles either. We got something in common. Okay.
Sorcery, weirdness. It's not weird. It's actually really cool. Like, I don't know. I really like it. And like, I like fantasy novels. Like, I'm reading Alison Noel's Soul Seeker novels right now. I'm just at her last Soul Seeker book, Horizon. And I plan on getting more. And to dance when I'm really hyper. I can get really, really hyper. And I'm just like, woo.
Well, that sounds different. Sounds like you were sleeping all the time when the kids went missing. Now you're saying you could get hyper. But I guess, 10 years later, 10 years go by, maybe you lose all that hyperness. I remember when I was a kid, I was hyped up too. Now I'm lazy as shit. I don't feel like moving.
There would probably be a video, at least me being hyper. I don't know. It happens. It happens. And I'm really shaking with my hand.
I mean, under the situation, like, Malaya's a very pretty girl, right? In that video, she looked a little raggedy and not well kept, right? But you got to take in consideration, does she look like that every day? Or is that because she's upset because the kids are missing? But every other picture of Malaya I've seen, she looks like a very young, pretty lady, right? To see her all broke down and like, that's what I think something was going on in those last 19 months. Is it depression? Is it a bad relationship with Daniel? Is it just how she was living? I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just know something happened.
Because I don't have a tripod or anything. My last thing about me, I'm a Canadian.
I'm a Canadian.
I have about me for now. I guess maybe in future videos you could like maybe see more of my personality.
No. If she could go back in time, right? She said maybe in the future you could see more of my personality. Listen, if you had a time machine, you could go back and watch this, Malaya. We actually see less of your personality. You look like an awesome teenage girl, okay? Just what you expect a 16-year-old to be like. Curious about the world. Everything makes you happy. You love your pets. That's your typical teenager, right? Now, hate to say this, we see nothing. We see absolutely nothing. But it's funny she said that. It's almost like she knew she was going to be in the news one day, right? Right. It's almost like she knew. She was foreshadowing, well, one day y'all will see more about me. Yeah, but Malaya, it ain't good. Okay. I'd rather hear about you riding roller coasters and, the zipper than hearing about your kids missing. Right. Like, I don't know what went wrong, young lady. What went wrong? But somewhere something took a drastic turn. And I would honestly like to know what that is. You know, seeing a young Malaya, I feel bad for young Malaya. I don't feel bad for 30-year-old Malaya. 16-year-old Malaya had a bright future, had her whole life in front of her, right? Seemed like a cool kid. 30-year-old Malaya, seems like a bad mom. It reminds me of Mr. Deeds, right? Anybody watch Mr. Deeds? Press 1 in the chat or like the video. Remember, he said, what would the young version of you think about the older version of you? Never lose. It's basically never lose that kid inside that makes you so awesome, right? The dreamer, I want to be an astronaut or I want to be a cop, you know. What would the young version think about the old version of you? Now, me, young Dolly would be like, damn, older Dolly's still cool as shit, right? I'm almost the same. I don't know if young Malaya could say that about herself, right? Because she looks so happy and so, you know, ready to be a part of the world. You could see the curiosity in her in some of the videos, right? And then look back at it now, she's not living the best life. She hasn't achieved really too much, right? She's not got a successful career. She's on the internet with everybody talking about her, and it's not good. You know, like, do you think at this point in her life she could imagine things were going to go like this? Okay, let me open the phone lines back up. I just wanted to get through that because this video was getting to know her is what the video was about.
I'm not really normally this boring, but I'm kind of, my arms are really tired and I'm just boring right now.
Just boring. She's boring because her arms are tired. I've never heard anybody say that in my whole listen, if you find this show boring tonight, it's just because my arms are tired. Okay. Ain't no other reason. Usually my shows are off the hook, but tonight my arms are tired. This one's tired. This one's tired. Okay. And look, you know how you can make your arms tired? By hitting that like button. Okay. Hit that like button and you could have tired arms too. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
It's Rita from Dexter.
Hey, Rita.
I'm looking at the video here.
Okay.
I just wanted to call in about a couple of things since I talked to you the other day.
Uh-huh.
About how I think they're all on the YouTube tour.
Yeah.
But, okay, I watched a video last night. It's a searcher.
Uh-huh.
She was interviewed by the news or somebody, some YouTube interviewed one of the searchers.
Yeah.
And the searcher said she believes those
kids
kids
are in the
could
woods.
still be in those woods.
Yeah, I know. I've seen her.
Okay, well, I really believe that. I think those kids are in those woods. And I've always thought that. But the reason I think that, now even more so, Daniel's got this story about these sweaters missing. How do we know he ain't prepping up for his alibi in case they do find those kids in the wilderness?
We don't. I said the same thing earlier in the show.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, and a lot of people are saying, oh, she was young. Okay, I was young when I had my kids. Okay, and postpartum's real. I mean, I'm serious. I went through it. It is real. It is very real. But the thing is I mean, I'm sure that the interview where she was motionless, she just was all a mess. Well, her kids were missing, so
yeah,
she's not going to look her best on that day. But I'm telling you, I think this guy he's injecting himself into the investigation. He's running all over YouTube saying this and that. And I really think I'm right about the fact that there's these fake family members. They'll like one side of the family, but the other they don't. And I didn't even know about him dating the family member till you just said it earlier.
Now, I don't know if that's positive, but that's what somebody had told me. So that right now, that's just rumor.
Yeah. Now, when I don't know, but I'm just telling you now. I think Daniel's lying. I really believe he's lying. I watched an interview with him that looked so fake. It's the Woe Is Me channel. I mean, he's going on there talking about how he's innocent, blah blah blah. And I'm sorry. I don't. My opinion is Daniel is lying. Something else happened. Those kids are in the woods. They didn't find them. And when they took the person in the woods, I wouldn't have found those kids if I'd been out there searching either. It was terrible looking. Those woods were up to people's knees. She said they're small. They could be under something. I believe they're out there. I think they're giving up on the woods idea way too soon. I really do. And I think that I don't believe Malaya's on the run. I don't believe those kids have crossed the border. I don't think anybody in that family's got the amount of money it would take to hide those kids. And I don't think they're on a reservation. I don't believe that at all, because the RCM, they've been in there. I don't see the reservations hiding these kids. I don't see that. I don't think that they would do that. I honestly don't. And I don't think that anybody is going to want to go to prison. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to hide two kids. None of it makes sense. The truck at the end of the road, I mean, and the person that called in you were explaining that. How do we know that wasn't, like she said, how do we know that, that's real? She did see a truck at the end of the road, but that could have been them taking them, them babies out of there. We don't know, but I don't believe them. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I'm not buying this Durwood story at all. Panel after panel. I'm not buying it, and I'm not buying his story. And I think that Malaya's not talking because I think she's actually scared. That's what I think. But I just wanted to call in and tell you how I felt about that, because I had 6 kids at a very young age, and they're still here today. My oldest is 35 and my youngest is 28. My kids are a year apart. So I have been through it, and I know what it's like. I know exactly. And I had those kids young. I started having kids when I was 15. I married young. I had all my kids by the time I was 21 with my husband. That's a fact. And whenever you struggle and you go through life and you have kids and they're running around and screaming, and we seen how Lily was screaming and stuff, that is nerve-wracking.
Oh,
that
I'm
is
sure it
nerve-wracking.
is.
Anything could have went south in that house.
Yeah. I was blessed. My kid was always quiet. Tiff was a real quiet kid. She didn't make a lot of noise.
She just seems like a good kid, yeah.
Yeah,
Tiff just seems like a good kid.
She didn't cry a lot. She didn't make a lot of noise. She was pretty chill. Now she's
my kids were good kids too. I was lucky.
She was a baby.
Really
she was a good baby.
Yeah, I was really lucky. My kids were good kids, but I mean, I have horrible nerves to this day. I see my grandkids. My grandkids are good kids. I had one kid that was a squaller, but he was a squaller because he was colicky. But after he got about 10 months, that stopped. But yeah, I understand. Kids get on your nerves. They get into things. I mean, I don't think they intentionally did anything to these kids. I really don't believe that. I think they weren't watching them and something bad happened and they did something. That's my opinion only. My opinion is not yours. We all have different opinions, but I think it was an accident and they covered it up. And I think Malaya left because she couldn't look Daniel in the eye. I really just think she couldn't sit there in that property knowing that happened. And that's just honestly what I believe.
Okay, Rita, you be good.
All right. You too. I'll be watching.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Here's a little short I could find of the interview the mother did. I never did get the video, the TikTok videos. Who was it that said it? If you could send me the link, post my Facebook link, guys. That way, when people need to send me something, like I would have liked to see the TikTok videos. But I never got them. And I don't feel like trying to track her TikTok down right now. But this is a little short that's on YouTube that I did find of her discussing it. Now, there's a big difference in it from, we just seen 16-year-old Malaya. Now, this is 10 years later. So this would be 26-year-old Malaya.
Just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home.
RCMP say there is still no sign of two.
That's it. That's like 3 seconds. I know there's a whole interview out there. I just can't find the whole interview. Like, it's just not posted by itself, like of the interview of just her. Not that I can find up here. There's a lot of YouTubers that have clips of the interview, but I don't want to go through their whole videos to try to find that interview. Hold on.
Okay, you guys, let's sit with me. Good, good.
Let's see if this shows it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the interview. Okay, that definitely ain't it. This is a dude with a whiteboard. Oh my Lord, he's doing videos like he's teaching a school class. Hey, there's one of my videos. Let's see. Did I show the whole interview? I don't know. The father speaks out. I can't find nothing where it's just the mother. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we ain't watching that. Unless somebody can find it. I can't find it. I've been looking the whole time for it. So let me refresh the phone lines. Where are these kids at? Are these kids alive? It's just this smoke and mirrors to take the blame off of Daniel. Now, like I said, I hope Daniel is telling the truth. And I hope Durwood is telling the truth. But that don't mean they are. It's hopeful. Now, like I said, they seem like Durwood seemed like an honest dude, and you know, really no reason to lie. And when the next time I do talk to him, I will find out the situation if he is connected to Logan also. Like, you just the woman's cousin, but you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. He said him, the kids, and her were the ones at the mall area the day before on video. Yes, that's what I'm hearing, is that they were at the mall together. Let's see, I'm getting a message. All right, let's see what this is.
I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together. And I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. And where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning?
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said there's rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yep, great, thank you, come in for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up. And
when did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
We go in, sit down in a big comfy chair, and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand, and you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question I asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them. It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do, because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lily and Jack. Are you accessory to the murder of Lily and Jack? They were all.
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
Yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah.
That's a lot of interviews.
It is a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people that live in the area. And those interviews, typically my interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1, 2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up, and they ask detailed questions.
Do you know who else actually took a polygraph test?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to impede the investigation.
Okay. When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
And how did that feel?
Good.
And did you feel that there was any further suspicion on you after that point, or was that sort of conclusive?
No, that was really when I seen the turning point for it's starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say it, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
No. RCP weren't allowed to tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lily and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
Well, just the mysterious and nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, you know, I mean, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share, that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But the kids were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were at a school for days, and they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera the day before this appearance in the afternoon.
Where was that?
I don't know if I can say that, but it was near the Highland Square Mall.
Was it with you?
It was with me, Malaya, and Meadow, and Lily and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do. I also talked to my coworker in the parking lot as well, and he verified that with investigators as well. So for all the speculation, they were gone days ahead of time, or they were seen the afternoon on camera before the disappearance.
Why do you think the police are asking for video dating back, days before that?
Well, the reason for that is they want to see the traffic of the vehicles on the roads in the area, right? Maybe vehicles that were traveling that area a lot over the last few days prior to hand, or vehicles that, weren't seen in the area, or vehicles that were seen in the area, like local people that are, You know what I mean? Making frequent trips past the house, or which it's all considered evidence. I mean, the more pictures and videos is the better.
They say they have hundreds of hours of video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they found anything on those videos?
I think it was up to 2 weeks ago, they had footage that they examined for evidence that was 8 kilometers diameter out from the house. So that was after a month. That's how long it took to get footage and review it 8 kilometers out. So
but what's on the video?
I don't know. I'm only limited by what they tell me.
How often are they in touch with you?
Investigators now, I'd say maybe once every 5 days. And usually I'm the one who calls or messages them.
And how's that changed over the course of the 6 weeks?
Well, from the beginning, it was almost daily, tapering off to where it's only like once every 5 days now.
And how do you feel about that?
It's good and bad. I mean, I like to talk to them in person about any little small details I come up with or anything I can try to bring to their attention, which may help the investigation. So I don't get to see them often, so it's always over phone or messaging, and it's hard to really convey what you want to say when you're not in person. But then I also know the eye's not on me. The investigators don't see me as part of the disappearance.
How do you know that?
Well, when you're going from daily to tapering off every 5 days, I mean, I've already gave them everything on my phone. I'm the one who originally said, here, take my phone. We'll go through all my banking information. We'll go through all my stuff on my GPS from Google.
And you were offering all that up, right?
Yeah, I offered everything.
And why were you doing that?
To show them that I want to get the investigation moving. I know I have nothing to do with any of it. A lot of speculation is you killed the kids. We'll just come out and say it straight as it is.
What do you think when you read that?
It's a lot of nonsense, obviously. I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack. And I just think a lot of people online they're seeking drama. That's the main thing. Everybody's allowed their own opinion, like I said before, but it's hard on the people that were actually there and missing the children. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lily and Jack. And that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now, going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye, your family's ripped apart and you're left alone.
That is hard right there, to go from a family of 7 to being by yourself if you didn't have nothing to do with it, right? Y'all bear with me, guys. This is helping my face. This ice cream. Usually I don't sit here and stuff my face while I'm doing a live stream, but I have a little bit of pain going on, and that the coldness helps. So if you see me sitting here crushing this Ben & Jerry's, not sponsored, okay? Ben & Jerry's, you want to hook me up, right? But definitely not sponsored. But this Cherry Garcia is delicious, okay? It is delicious, and it is helping my sore face. So somebody said that the deception detective, let me pull this up, did a video today. Hold on. And the old interview was in it. Okay, let's see what he did. Videos. He don't do lives, does he? No, I don't think he does lives. All right, let's watch a little bit of the deception detective. Maybe he has the old interview in there. I can't find it anywhere else.
I read a comment that has inspired this video because it's so right. Spiritual ascension is a tightrope between living your highest timeline and fucking insanity. Talk about a trust fall.
If you listen close enough, people often tell you exactly who they are. So in today's video, let's watch some old uploads of parents of missing children like Rachel Todd, Malaya Brooks Murray, and Daniel Martell. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives and other cool perks, join the channel. Link in description. My series about Malaya and Daniel's children has amassed millions of views on YouTube, so I'm just going to assume we're all familiar with who they are. But Rachel Todd might not ring a bell. So before we analyze more of her unhinged TikTok videos, as well as the other two's unearthed YouTube channels, here's a quick recap of who she is.
She spent more than 3 days and nights alone in the heat and humidity beside Highway 417 in eastern Ontario after being left there with no food
Claire Bell's
and no
mama.
water.
She's in the ditch. She was lying in the ditch.
Captain Benoit Richard says the 3-year-old Montreal girl was spotted by an Ontario Provincial Police drone lying in tall grass that would have made her hard to spot from the road. Officers then rushed to her.
She put her hands up and she was talking with the officers.
Richard says OPP officers quickly gave her mangoes and Gatorade. Small children are particularly susceptible to heat stroke and dehydration.
Not having water for 3 days can be critical and can be lethal.
On Sunday, the 3-year-old was last seen around 9:45 a.m. with her mother and pet chihuahua in Montreal near their home. Almost 6 hours later, her mother reported her missing 50 kilometers west in Coteau-du-Lac. Monday, the dog was discovered dead on the side of a highway. The girl's mother was arrested and charged with child abandonment. On Wednesday, police announced new information. The pair had been seen Sunday afternoon by an Eastern Ontario farmer. Investigators narrowed their search and the girl was found along a highway at 2 p.m. in a rural area of Ontario, about 150 kilometers west of Montreal.
The level of fear that she must have experienced must have been quite intense.
Dr. Nafisa Ismail says at 3 years old, the girl will have the capacity to remember.
Okay, listen. Everybody's trying to play doctor. I'll be okay. Okay, and I can't take Motrin anyway. All right, so we don't name medicines in the room. We're not medical professionals here. So I got it under control. I got a doctor. Okay, I got a doctor.
What happened?
How impactful that's going to be on her physical health, on her mental health, will depend on the environment that she finds herself in going forward.
She says that while each child is unique, kids that experience intense trauma at a young age can grow up with deep psychological scars.
These children have issues then forming new relationships, trusting relationships.
Authorities are now asking the media and the public to stop broadcasting the girl's name and image so she can regain her anonymity. Her 34-year-old mother has a court appearance Friday morning as she faces child abandonment charges. Dan Spector, Global News, Montreal.
So that's Rachel, and she's a monster. But unlike Malaya and Daniel, whose YouTube videos we'll watch next, I think she was literally losing her grip on reality.
Now, I don't know if that woman's a monster as much as she needs mental help. I think her mother was a little sick. And she didn't kill the baby. So to be like she's a monster, I don't know about a monster. Not good. Definitely not good. And definitely needs some help. I mean, borderline monster. Borderline. Okay, but monster, listen, there's people go through psychotic breaks. Let's just be thankful that that little baby is still alive.
By the day. And that should become clear as we continue watching these TikToks in chronological order. Thanks to Plunder True Crime for making this compilation.
So I just got back from seeing my therapist because in light of all my huge life changes, while it feels in line, my ego keeps trying to convince me that I've gone fucking nuts because it's unknown, it's unsafe, it's, for me, absolutely wild. So the good news is that I have not gone crazy, that I seem to be seeing things clearly.
Nah, you're crazy. She's definitely crazy. She's definitely nuts as shit.
She did stress the importance of being vigilant of my mindset in this transitional phase, which I recognize because my old patterns love to sneak back. I learned so much in the last couple weeks, couple months. Well, I've been learning forever, but lately it's been like intense in your face. But I finally figured out what the hell's up with this fundamental shift that I'm feeling. I think I've been feeling it for a while, but I've been resisting out of fear, frankly. Fear of losing control, I guess, because this shift is monumental. And I recognize how many people are talking about it, but ultimately,
yeah, this lady, she was losing her stuff, you know, and this is Claire Bell's mother, and she basically was losing it, and then, you know, just went over like completely nuts. You know, in the beginning, everybody was scared that this baby was, you know, hate to say it, dead. Especially when they found the dog. They were like, oh, she done killed the dog. She's done probably unalived this baby. But thank God the police found this child. The drone seen her and the farmer, and she was able to be recovered. But this lady definitely has some mental health issues. And there may be some of that with Malaya, you know. I don't think Malaya made any videos about it like she was doing. But, I mean, her videos kind of chronicled her going crazy. I seen somebody say something about me eating ice cream. Yeah, it's just because it's something cold. It feels good. I really don't want to eat a bunch of ice cream, but it's actually cold and it helps my face.
ultimately, things are moving faster. The veil between our inner worlds and our outer worlds has thinned. The energy is lighter. It's not as dense. That's why karma seems to speed up. Our intentions, our desires, our fears, everything that's happening inside is going to hit you in the face tenfold. Strap in or look within.
If you're not aware, this is actually my second video analyzing her TikToks, so I'll just repeat the caveat I gave in that first one. I'm not a clinician, so I can't diagnose anyone. That said, I don't think I need to be a clinician to recognize that the things she's saying here are concerning, like admitting that she might be crazy despite what her therapist tells her, or that the separation between
Clinician, I don't even know what that is. You know, same thing as a psychiatrist.
in the real world and her inner reality is something that we need to be worried about. So I'm planning to continue analyzing her TikToks as part of a series because it does get more and more deranged as we go on until the very last TikTok she posted. So make sure to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Now let's move on to the other two people I want to feature in this video, Malaya and Daniel. As you're about to see, both sound relatively normal and talkative in their YouTube videos, which makes their recent silence and reticence about finding their missing children all the more bizarre. On the off chance that you're watching this and don't know who they are, what I mean by that is that Malaya, the mother of the missing children, has only done one public appearance about their disappearance. And the bulk of that brief appearance was to establish her and Daniel's alibi, which is very unusual. She hasn't made any appearances asking for help finding them or encouraging searchers to keep looking, or even to bring attention to the new $150,000 reward for tips that might lead to their discovery. So let's compare her recent stoicism about her missing children to this YouTube video posted 10 years ago.
Hi guys, it's Malaya. It's more of like an about me video.
We just watched that.
So that, I don't know, because since I'm getting into this YouTube thing, I just thought it'd be more appropriate to know about me. So yeah, so things that you should know about me is that I'm tattoo addicted. I love tattoos, and they're, well, I don't plan on having too many tattoos, but I just want quite a few. I have quite a few animals. I don't know the number at the moment, but I will tell you their names and what kind of animal they are. A horse, it's a Percheron horse, and her name is Raven. I used to have another horse, and he was an Appaloosa, but he had to get put down. His name was Dandy. Now I plan on getting a tattoo that resembles him. Also, I have can't think right now. I have a golden retriever dog named Kavai. He looks like a monk right now because we had to shave his head because he got hot spots, and if you want to know what hot spots is, look it up on the internet. I have a little Shih Tzu named Gabriella. She's really She's something else. This cat named Mittens. He's got no tail and he's just Mittens.
That's enough of that. Now let's move on to Daniel. And one last thing before we do. Daniel, if this is in fact your YouTube channel, you can contact me from it and we can talk. I've seen you say in plenty of interviews that you're upset with what people say about you and Malaya on social media. So I'll reiterate the offer I made to you in one of my very first videos in this series. If you do an interview with me and I'm satisfied with your answers, I will be your biggest advocate. You can contact me by posting to my YouTube channel community from this YouTube account.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. And if you like Pokemon content,
Well, that's the channel he contacted me from. And everybody was like, how do you know it's him? Because this is his channel with his videos with him on it. Hold on, guys.
feel free to subscribe and like this video. I got a good video for today, and it looks like we're going to be doing not just one, but two Detective Pikachu boxes. And well, without further ado, let's get into them, I guess. These come with 4 promo cards. One beautifully sculpted Detective Pikachu figure standing on a magnificent magnifying glass. How nice.
Anyone can change their YouTube handle, avatar, and even thumbnails, but the voice in that video sounded like Daniel, the image in the thumbnail looks like him, and it was posted 5 years ago. For more like this, like, comment, and share. Until next time, stay true.
Okay, I didn't see the interview with the mother that we were talking about. Not at all. So
I'm gonna need you to put your hands behind your back.
Wait, what?
me close this. Unless it was in something different, a
I read a
different video
comment.
he did.
You tried that again?
Did he put out more than one video today? No, that was 2 days ago. He did the grandmother. Different video. Okay, well, yeah, I didn't damn sure didn't see the video we were looking for. And there's only very limited clips of the one video she did. So I'm gonna click into this video real quick just so I can
How
go
did
put
you
this
find
ice
out
cream
that
up.
Lily and Jack were missing?
The mom of my grandson called me. We were in town. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malaya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock.
That's the grandmother of missing Nova Scotian children, Lily and Jack Sullivan, and she revealed a ton of red flags in her CBC interview, seemingly without even realizing it. So in today's video, let's watch that interview and count the red flags. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives and other cool perks, join the channel. Link in description. Hoaxers spend a lot of time planning and memorizing what they will say, so catching them often boils down to noticing what they don't. For example, Malaya calling her ex-mother-in-law to tell her that the kids are missing without even asking if she or the kid's biological father who lives with her are responsible or have any idea what happened. And that's just one of the many red flags in this interview. But before we watch it, I want to show you this update about the case because it's something I haven't seen Malaya or Daniel bring any attention to yet, which in my opinion at least is yet another glaring omission.
The province of Nova Scotia is offering a reward of up to $150,000 for any information relating to the 2 siblings who were reported missing last month. 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their home on May 2nd in Lansdowne Station in Pictou County. In a brief phone call today, the children's maternal grandmother told Global News the family's focus is on finding Lily and Jack, and they hope this reward will help. Premier Tim Houston says he's also hoping for the safe return of the children. Nova Scotia's Justice Minister says the province is doing everything they can to support the RCMP in the investigation.
We appreciate the work of the investigators, the RCMP, and others who responded in the early days and as the case has unfolded to support the search and now the investigation. we really appreciate the work that they've been doing, and we want to do everything we can to support that.
And Druin says while she can't speak to specifics, rewards like this from the province have generated information for previous cases, and she hopes it does the same for this one.
That's a big reward to incentivize people to find Malaya and Daniel's children, except the only people I don't see talking about it are Malaya and Daniel. Which reminds me of another case we've analyzed on the channel, Sebastian Rogers, whose parents also never seem to mention the reward about him. And the few times that they do, it's to talk about how it's not actually as big as people say it is. But enough about that. Let's watch this interview.
My heart tells me these babies are gone. My heart tells.
Well, just to clear things up there, the reward wasn't as big as people say it was. There was a whole lot of fraud going on in the Sebastian Rogers case of, let's just say, some old straw-haired guy that used to be a reality star that owes the IRS a bunch of money but wants to make a $500,000 reward when he don't got the money. So that's the reason I think they never spoke on that reward, because they said the reward was 400 and they kept changing it every day. It was 300, 400, 450. They were putting people's addresses in the reward. And it was basically a LARP. You know, live action role play. And it was purely disgusting. I pray to God. And listen, people were like, when I said something bad about the person, they were like, oh, you just jealous. You know, he's caught so many fugitives. Yeah, but has he ever found a missing kid? And now, when I say something bad about him, nobody has anything to say about me saying it now, right? He is an embarrassment to missing kids. This man came out here to try to sell a book, didn't even know the kid's name, didn't even know the father's name. How disgusting is that? That's why you're a former reality star. That's why you're not a star now. Your star faded. Bad. Disgusting. Like you. Oh, I was just saying, you know, just go to bed, PJ. I'm just saying there was a former, I don't know which former reality star that was. I ain't mentioning nobody. I'm just saying that it was an embarrassment to missing kids. So if you're going to be a celebrity and come out here and act like you care about kids, at least know the kid's name. Okay? I can't say nothing bad about nobody, can I? God, I'm like a prisoner here. Listen to the producer. Okay. I'm just saying that where's my apologies from all the people that supported this person that said bad things about me now? I figured I'm owed an apology, and I ain't heard one yet. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Dolly was right once again. All right. And most of the people that shit talk me were wrong once again. Dolly, no, I ain't in trouble. She knows that's the truth. That's 100% the truth. Everything I say is the truth. She gets mad at me about it because some people can't handle the truth. But it is what it is. So that's why they never mentioned the reward. The reward was really only up to $50,000. I said something about it tonight. You know, this reward is up to $150,000. That don't mean if you find a kid, they're going to give you $150,000. They should. It should just be a $150,000 reward. So that way you know how much money you're getting. But it shouldn't be about money anyway. If you knew where a missing kid was and you don't tell, you a shitty person. Right? And I mean, some people can live with being a shitty person. I don't know how, but they do. They don't have no problem with it. But I couldn't. Like, if I knew where these kids were right now, I wouldn't be worried about the money or anything. I would call and tell them, you know, any kid out there missing. Stop digging that hole. PJ is all knowing. She just happened to wake up. Okay. This ear hurts so bad. Oh my God. Oh. Prison with a pole. LOL, mate. Watch those P's and Q's. I am. Go to bed. I didn't wake you up. I wasn't even loud. Hold on. Let me shut my door, guys. Give me 1 second. We'll finish this and I'll be able to shut my door.
Tells me that. I am the grandmother of Lily and Jack. I am the grandmother on the biological father's side. My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
How did you find out that Lily and Jack were missing?
The mom of my grandson called me. We were in town. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malaya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock. But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search. It was around between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. A couple of cop cars pull into the driveway. The lights wake me up that I'm a fairly light sleeper, so I see the cars pull in, so I knew what it was. So they come inside. They only stood in the kitchen. They wanted me to wake Cody up, and they wanted to know when was the last time he had seen the kids, and that they were just making sure that the kids weren't here.
Now, why did the police do that? Because they don't know what happened. So asking the estranged biological father who doesn't live too far away if he has any idea where the kids are is only natural. What isn't natural is how Malaya somehow knows that the biological dad, the ex-mother-in-law, her boyfriend, any other adults who lived on the property are all not responsible for the disappearance. That is the hallmark of a hoaxer, because a hoaxer already knows what happened. I put the Spotting Hoaxes card from my deception deck on your screen if you want to read the full card, but here it is in a nutshell. Hoaxers know more than they should actually know if their story were true because they made up the story in the first place. And because they spend most of their time planning and memorizing what they're going to say to sell their story, their biggest plot holes are often in what they don't say and don't do, like question everyone around them until they can prove their alibi, or texting the grandma to tell her that they're missing without even asking her if she knows where they are. I know I'm beating that point to death, but it's a big one. All right, let's keep watching.
So we showed up Saturday morning, me and my sister, and we met up with my daughter, and we started, well, I asked Malaya, I said, Malaya, I said, you know your kids. Nobody knows their kids like their mom. Where do your kids normally go to play out in the yard? What direction do they usually?
The person we're watching now, Trish, is the deception detective. Okay. He's a lawyer trained in deception analysis. All right. Like me, I'm an idiot trained in true crime. Okay. By the world's best. But the question is, where's the babies? Where's the babies at? All right. I got to try to keep it down. Y'all don't let me be too loud. All right. Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all hear me all good when I talk like this? I don't want to die tonight. I don't want to be the next one to come up missing. All right. So if y'all can hear me okay out there, give me a little thumbs up. We good to go? Okay. So, you know, what information we know now? Malaya doesn't have any kids. She has no kids. If, you know, there's Daniel alleged that he's scared she may hurt herself, and maybe she needs to be checked into a facility to make sure she's okay. because, there's the threat or the fear that she could possibly hurt herself. Now, I hope that ain't the case. I don't want to see anybody hurt themselves, right? I don't know what kind of mental health issues she's going through, but something's going on with her. Okay, and I think she's been having these problems for a while because Daniel's kind of hinted to it. And we know Malaya has took a lie detector test, and she passed the part that said that she killed a baby or unalived a baby. You know how I know that? Because Daniel said it. He said everybody passed the question, did you kill Jack and Lily? Everybody that took the lie detector test passed on that question. That's what makes him think that the baby is still alive out here. So if that is the case, then there is the possibility that she could have hid these children. You don't feel like they're with us anymore. Who are those kids in the picture? That is Jack and Lily. The picture beside me, that is their school pictures. That is Jack and Lily. Well, according to Durwood and Daniel, they believe the kids have been hidden. And Durwood says he's 100% positive that they hid the kids and that he has spoken with the major crime unit. He says he knows who hid the kids. Cops only asked about murder on purpose. Well, yeah, they, if the kids were alive, if they're dead, that's the most important thing to know. If they're alive, we know they got to be okay, most likely. So Durwood said he talked to the police. He said he did talk to the police. Why hide them? I'm new to the case. There's no reason to hide them, Max. There's no reason to hide the kids that I can think of, or anybody else could give a logical reason to. Daniel, the father, said, common law father, said that she was scared of the baby's daddy. But I don't know. There's really no reason. Oh, God. So, yeah, I don't trust lie detector tests too much, right? Because, there's people that have took them and been murderers and pass them. So there's ways to pass these tests if you don't get nervous. Some people are narcissists and they lie so much they believe their own lies and they pass these tests. So I don't trust a lie detector test, not at all. And if the mother's unwell, mentally, look at Claire Bell's mom. Claire Bell's mom dropped her off in the middle of the weeds on the side of the interstate, said she'd be back together, and just left her there because she wasn't mentally right. Now, the deception detective thinks she's a monster, but I think she was unraveling, and we were seeing it on those TikTok videos, that the lady really needs mental help. And, here's the thing about crazy people. Sometimes they can appear to be perfectly fine and then lose their shit, right? And I think that's the case with Claire Bell's mother. Now, Malaya, we don't know if Malaya has these problems because we don't have enough to judge Malaya by. Right? We only seen videos of her when she was 16 and one news interview. That's it. So that's very little to judge Malaya by. But I'm thinking, even according to the grandmother, that when she went over there, she was emotionless. Something's wrong, right? And I don't know what it is, but it's definitely with Malaya. Well, the police made it clear that they don't think these kids are in the woods and they don't think they've been abducted. So all that really leaves is the parents of these kids. She probably wanted to leave Daniel, and she had it set up for someone to pick up the kids so she could have a reason to leave, and it just blew up, and she wasn't expecting it to get that big. I don't know. I don't think so. You know, you got to know if you report your kids missing that it's going to get big and bring a lot of attention. So I'm thinking, I hate to even say it, Dolly, the lady remote viewer that called in, is what used to extrasensory perception. Is some people have natural ESP, nothing to do with psychic or fortune tellers. I know this, AMB. I don't watch all kinds of documentaries on remote viewing. I watch a bunch of conspiracy stuff in my free time. Yeah, if they were in the woods, they would have heard people yelling for them, or they would have heard the kids crying, especially when it got nighttime. The dogs tracked their scent to the end of the driveway. Yeah, they were taken away from there in a car, in my opinion. Ashley, that's a lot to go through to get out of a relationship. She's out. Why ain't the kids back home? Right? Why is it still going if that's the case? You know what I'm saying? She has the police. She could take protective orders, stuff like that, and she hasn't done that yet. Yes, she was the one that reported them missing. Casey Anthony had people believing her for over a month. All this could be just to buy time. That is what Casey Anthony did. Okay, let me catch up with everybody. You wonder if she suffers from paranoia and has them hidden? I don't know. I don't think they're afraid of nobody. I think all that's bullshit. I'm going with statistics. Okay? And statistics say these kids are dead. I hate to tell. I mean, that's what I'm going. Now, I'm hoping that Durwood and Daniel are telling the truth. But, you know, if I was a gambling man, I would lean more towards statistics. Good morning. Good morning to you. Yeah, I mean, that could be the case, but why wouldn't she tell it now? Why would she perpetuate this? I don't think she would. Yes, there was 2 people trying to lure a child the day before they went missing, and again in April. That person wasn't caught. Absolutely true. But how would that person know the kids were outside at that exact time? Just luck. 100% Dolly. Yes. Tupac's wife says the mom knows where the kids are, dead or alive. I agree. You know, get money from GoFundMe, maybe. They don't have a GoFundMe. Why not send a picture just to show they're alive if you're the mother? Because they're not. I don't think so. Listen, we've seen cases like this a million times. Could it be a hoax? Yes. Is it a hoax? I don't think so. I think something bad has happened to these kids. So I pray to God that I'm wrong on that and that these kids are out there. But I feel like something bad has happened to these babies. There's no way there could be an article because the CPS don't tell you anything to do with minors. Okay. Official article. I mean, there may be people saying that, but there's no way to check with the CPS to see if the CPS was involved. That's private. They couldn't tell you if they were involved. You like the loudest sighted Dolly just saying, well, I can't keep the whole house awake. I got to keep it down. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. A month and 3 weeks. That's how long they've been missing. Go to bed, PJ. All right, guys, I'm wrapping it up. Y'all be good. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't want to keep PJ up all night. All right. So y'all be good and drop some comments. Make sure you hit the like on the video. Until next time, peace.